Alright, hello and welcome everyone. My name is Han86 and I can greet you to another fantastic quiz stream. Today we have on left side father-son bonding, of course the team of Namaha and TheSaltySponge versus the Lucksackers. On the right side, Alaszun and Dracarys. Your commentators today, Tudos, Engel and NineWholeGrains.
Well, I'm doing
How are you
just
doing, my
fine,
friends?
but Alaszun has a spicy meme on the stream right now that I'm currently directing my attention to.
I'm doing well, and I thank you again for having us.
I'm ready to step on the gas, just like our runners.
Whenever your run starts with an initial D meme, you know it's going to be a good race.
Yeah, initial D memes and then memes on the other side of the stream as well. Let's see here. This is the final round 2 match, so whoever wins this one gets in the top 8, and we'll be playing Dompe Digging Rush, whoever gets in.
Yeah, that's big too, because as you look at some of the names and some of the runners that have made it to top 8 already, this is really the last time that you... I feel like if you're one of the stronger teams, I think this is one of the last matches where you can rest easy a little bit, knowing that you're not up against one of the top teams after this. But I know Dompe Digging Rush has had some really exciting races so far, so whichever one of these teams is certainly or wins today is going to certainly have their hands full next week.
And then we got start with the light medallion here, and obviously it's good to see a medallion right at the start. We did get a peek at where the stones are, and we'll be seeing that on stream shortly.
Yeah, we sure did, and well, you know it's obvious from what we've seen. All dungeons, baby.
Oh, clearly we're gonna have Stone Shadow, considering Star made the seed today. So
yeah, just clarification for everyone: it is a star seed. So if you were expecting a nice 2-hour seed, come in, grab a little lunch, and head out and start the rest of your day. We're in this one for the long haul, everybody. So just be ready.
Not really sure what the holdup is right now, but it appears everyone's ready.
Yeah, Alaszun took a moment to reset. Maybe there was something wrong there. Now we're all sitting over it, so... Well, mostly sitting over it. We're still on I'm Gonna and Gas right now for Sponge and Namaha, respectively.
We've seen several different openings by... Of course, we've done quite a few bits of commentary for this. We've seen several different openings here. I know Double Adult Cack has been popular. One going Adult Cack, one been going... Ganon's Castle has also been a common one as well. Expect to see more of that, or do you think there's gonna be something new today?
Well, here we go, so...
Oh, there we go. Okay, now we can see.
I think we're gonna see the double cack start from Namaha and Sponge here. It looks like... Oh, we got some hints.
Yo, nice hint.
Again, for those of you not familiar with the setup here, these are custom hints made specifically for Silver Gauntlet, so don't be expecting to see these inside your normal runs. But what you also won't be expecting to see here is any of those really nice Way of the Hero hints. Not going to be seeing any of those today.
No Way of the Heroes, no Barons. Just gotta play to your checks and play to the what it basically use the items you get as the hints for you where to go. So looks like we're gonna indeed be seeing Double Adult Cack here as oh no, I think someone took a plunge into the river.
Yeah, they're actually going to get there okay.
We're good here. It's not too much a loss.
Lose a ton of time. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about this opening, because this was something that when we saw it for the first time, when Riley and Goomba did it a few races back, we were kind of taken aback by it. And when we interviewed them afterwards, the idea was that in Adult Cack in these settings, you almost always find something you need. And for both of the players to be able to get that early on really sets you ahead. And it means that you don't have to come back and backtrack. As we see double defense.
Oh, he didn't even check the price. Come on, we need to know.
Yeah, now they're gonna die. Like,
oh, here we 115. 115.
I mean, if they die to like Stealthos later in Forest Temple, I mean, don't blame us. So
I think these players are a little bit better than us, guys. They won't die. Especially because they can buy a shield for 80 rupees right there. That's a very nice thing to find early on in these settings.
We will note here as well that the Lucksackers actually did not really do double cack. One of them actually went graveyard right away.
Yeah,
well, I
that's,
guess
on father-son
that's pretty
bonding,
standard for
too.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Yo, let's call it these Jampe race times.
Ooh. Well, okay, we already see a burn, so I'm gonna say 54 for that one.
Ah, he's got the
dang.
53 still. He's good.
Dude, I trust in the 52.
52 with a burn.
Old
That's
Bonk on the other side.
oh, double bonk. Oh, okay. So how are we feeling about this one here on the right side?
I'm gonna say 50.
51. But we got Requiem of Spirit up in the windmill. That's a good warp to start with.
We did not trust them. They got a 49.
49
Sponge.
with a burn there for Sponge. Who, by the way, a lot of people familiar with ZOoTR do know that in a lot of the weeklies, Sponge is always a threat to take it here. So maybe we shouldn't have been too surprised to see a burn into that.
Is he? Anyway, we got Requiem on the Storms check. So we can probably get another song as soon as they're done checking this area.
Yeah, not a whole lot in Kakariko or the Graveyard there.
Yeah, usually you find something here, but there wasn't really anything. Although that double defense clearly away the hero item.
Yes.
With the hero double defense.
But since we found nothing, it looks like we're going out to the desert to see what song we can get.
Probably gonna check the hint stone and oh, there's a nut up there.
What was that? Skull Mask is dead? That is a hint you like to see.
Right from the get-go.
The runners are
Right.
getting a little lucky on some of these random checks. Wasteland, Treasure Chest Game, and Skull Mask all being dead. There's a lot of things you don't want to do.
How about that?
Oh,
Requiem and
Storms.
Storms being swapped. You get your Requiem from your Storms check and your Storms from your Requiem check.
Yeah, I just want to reinforce the fact that this is a star seed. Nightbot needs to be updated. Wait, no, there we go. It's updated now.
Alaszun going early river here.
Yeah, I love early river in these settings, especially if CAC turns up with not a whole lot. Especially because the other check that you could do on Requiem is just a song away, so knocking it out here is really nice. Of course, you aren't going to be able to get every check here in Logic, but especially when there's nothing by CAC, you may as well just come and grab this while you can, so I like this call.
Yeah. I also like Namaha here, getting the desert song and now going to Ganon's Castle.
Yeah, that's always a nice segue into the Zell's Lullaby and Night Market stuff.
Maybe we'll get something off a scrub here real quick. They gotta find an item soon.
Oh, they missed a song of Storm's Grotto on the river. Unless they're walking back the other way for it.
Oh.
But it'd be a little unusual to just kind of skip that.
Yeah, and they
Well,
definitely have enough rupees
Does
to make
Alaszun
that
have?
happen, too.
Did
Well, no,
Alaszun
he might
get
not
it?
have songs. He doesn't have Storms.
He didn't go get it. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, and they don't know that Storms is there yet now because Dracarys is about to go in right
Oh,
now.
right.
So. Also, King Zora dead, everybody.
Bomb
We can
choose.
rejoice. Bomb choose good.
I have a feeling that's the 10-pack. It's the 10-pack.
So now you're Alaszun at the end of the river, and Dracarys is like, "Yo, I got Song of Storms." Oops.
Well, is what it is. Crater's Melody is Song of Time, so that's a nice hint to get early on.
I believe we know 3 of the songs now. What do we think is on Ocarina of Time today?
Dare I say Nocturne?
Yo, let's get a bet going. What is on the Ocarina of Time check today?
I'm gonna say Minuet.
I'm gonna say Prelude. I think Star's gonna be nice and forgiving to them today.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Saria's, but you're gonna have to get something off the Runia.
Hook shot.
As we see the hook shot, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, finally, things open up a little bit, and it does look like Dracarys is going to head up that direction now, so they should be getting that hook shot without too much more time. So it looks like both teams have done generally the same thing in the opening, the only difference being, of course, that Alaszun went and took a little stroll upriver, wasn't able to find anything there, so a little bit behind right now, but still plenty of time. And actually, being able to complete Spirit Trial the first time you come in here, that's a nice thing to be able to do.
On the other hand, an expensive bow is not what you want to see.
And also an expensive wallet, so that's what? That's probably the final wallet in there, I think, right?
Yeah, you're not buying that wallet, I don't think.
I get a double wallet locked wallet indeed. That's not something you want to see in a co-op, especially when there's a bow there.
Hey, you can finally put maybe you can finally put that Tycoon's wallet to use afterwards.
Another hint.
I think this is the first seed that we've seen where Song of Storms has come into play early in these settings on a race. And, it's kind of interesting to note how different, I won't say how different, but how much that changes the dynamic. Because an in-logic early Song of Storms suddenly means that your item that you need probably is somewhere stuck behind that. Or at the very least, it feels, I feel like Well now becomes a much more enviable early play, even if you don't have ZL.
Yeah, not just Well, there's all those Storms Grottos as well that now are, all of a sudden are in play too.
Yeah, the grottos are big. The Well, I like where they're going, getting these songs first. See if you can get an easy ZL before you dip that well. You never want to do it twice.
Or 3 times.
No, or 3 times. The legendary...
The legendary 3-time Well dip.
Triple dip. Well, now that skulls are on too, like, you might have to do it. Imagine if what you need happens to be boomerang lock. Like, what a kick in the shins that would be.
Hey, coming up on ZL here, what do we got? Wait, did Alaszun get caught? Oh no, I think he got caught. That's too bad.
So, we have Saria's. So, Engel's prediction is now out the window. Saria's is not going to be on Ocarina of Time today. But that does make my Minuet pick look a little better. So I'm happy with that.
Pretty much everyone else is doing repeat stuff here at the moment. We're gonna get some day market checks coming in here. What do you got for a sponge? What do you got? The bomb bag. It's
100 rupees.
101 too many.
Dude, tax. If it was not for tax, you'd be able to buy that.
Oh, big Goron sword. Oh, 200. These shops are not being kind to us today.
Yo, why? Okay. Theory crafting time. Why doesn't Child Link fill up his wallet to 99 rupees and just carry the final rupee like in his hand or something? Like, what's the deal with that? Is he just not capable of doing that? Who knows?
I mean, well, look at how big those rupees are, first of all. It might be like a pocket dimension sort of thing where the rupees themselves are actually too heavy for Link to carry. He just has to put them in the pocket dimension. The same pocket dimension that his iron boots are in. Because apparently those only have weight when they're on his feet for whatever reason.
Okay, well, we're getting a pedestal check, but it's the stone pedestals, and we now see that it's Deku and Datango are stones along with Morpha, Water Temple, of course.
No one actually checked the medallions.
They figured they're going to have a chance to get it there, but wow.
Look, they saw Raikaru and Beryl on GDQ doing this, and they were like, they didn't check medallions, and they were fine, right? That's how you win. They're top 8. That's how you win, guys.
Yeah, you know, all the small ironing out that you can do, you got to do it.
Yo, we almost have a sync up here by Alaszun and TheSaltySponge, both going to Lon Lon.
Yeah, and I love the fact that father-son bonding here are going to be able to both have the ZL portion of this done. Because, of course, for those of you who don't know, the ZL checks in that whole side sequence opens up a ton in terms of checks that you need. It's a whole 2 songs that you get, along with some other bits at Lon Lon Ranch. So, very important to do. So to have both of them done in the first 12 minutes, always nice, especially because it's one less child trip you have to make.
More specifically, it's the Epona song check and the Sria song check that you cannot do until you do the Zelda's Lullaby sequence. Anyway, Stalfos down on one screen, ZL almost there on the other screen, Lon Lon Ranch on 2 screens. What do we got here for the song?
Nocturne.
Oh, thank you, Milan.
Milan saving the seed once again. Wait, is it saving the seed or is it bailing out Star from it becoming a bad seed?
Oh, well, we're not through here yet.
Little column A,
guess
little
we're not.
column B. Well, I guess now, though, it has to be a song that... Because we already have Saria's, we know where Song of Time is. So, I feel like whatever song is behind OOT can't be too prohibitive of a song. Am I missing
Okay,
one?
we're getting a pedestal check finally. Okay, thank God. They remembered.
Guma in the chat giving us some tech as well. The, hey Riley, I forgot to read pedestal, can you do it strat? So, next level stuff here, truly. Wow, three links back walking on screen at the same time. What beautiful movement Ocarina of Time offers us.
Oh, Bolero. It's Bolero on Ocarina. So we're good on that end.
Yep, because we already have hook shot, so unless, well, no, because if you have hovers, then that's not even an issue. So yeah, I think we're clear. Star, you may be in the okay for this one.
Yep. And we get a slingshot here, so Deku's now in logic.
Hey, but that double strength in stone water, though. It's coming.
Please, I did not make the seed. They're not getting the double strength water.
And Unigiant does say that we're not technically okay if hovers are the piece of heart in Crater. Then suddenly Bolero. Careful, Unigiant. We can't be putting that type of evil on this seed just yet. It's been going too well so far.
Yeah, we have a Spirit Temple dip.
Yeah, he took the slingshot, went straight to Spirit. It's interesting because we still haven't gone to Kakiri Forest yet. You know, there's a certain house in there. You guys may have heard of it.
Saria's house?
Yeah, that one. But no, my friend, Mido, he has this great house. And
I'm not a fan of Mido. I never visit him.
it's a shame. Maybe our runners agreed to the 1 hour gentleman's agreement. But we don't know.
Ooh, maybe. That's why none of them went there.
Did take a little while for them to get the seed started. Maybe they were working out the exact details of how long they were going to wait before going to Mido's house. But I will say, when you get an early Requiem, it is always tempting to make this play, especially if you have everything you need to do it. So, I can sympathize a bit. Goron Tunic.
Yeah, meanwhile, father-son bonding is going to do the Gerudo Valley into Lycalia loop, which is pretty standard opening if you were doing solo.
In these settings, even better too, because the almighty scrubs, the middle Lake Hylia scrub that always has a wallet for some reason.
Oh, we're not child locked up in spirit. We got a key there. Hey, Namaha heard me. He's going. I see my friend here.
All right, Milo, what do we got?
Starting with bottom left.
Ever important Skuluta token. The ever important other Skuluta token. The ever important blue rupee.
Oh, great house.
Great house. On the other end, by the way, it appears so far that all we've gotten so far is the small key and, of course, the Goron tunic that we're going to be getting here. So, not boss key locked so far on child side. And now I think the question becomes an interesting one. Do you go, how deep do you go? As we finally see a bottle and boomerang available.
Cheap.
There we go.
We finally got a nice shop.
Yo, what a deal.
It's a shame that's not the right bottle. It was almost the cheapest way to Jabu's ever.
Still not a Scalar ZL, but who cares? We have other ways of getting into Zora's Dome.
We don't need logic.
There's no Deku Shield in play right now, so they're gonna have to skip it for now. Skip Deku Tree. Of course, you can still check the very first chest in Deku Tree without the shield, as well as a couple of the upper ones as well, I believe.
In these settings, the term Deku dip is actually a real thing. Dipping Deku Tree, what a wonderful world we live in. And also, I do want to point out real quick, Alaszun did not go deeper into Spirit, just doing the early checks. And I can't really blame him because, of course, you want to knock out what you can to be sure whether or not you had to go here as a child. But there have been a lot of seeds I've run into where it's one of the deeper checks that the child or that Child Link can get to that has had something. But I guess maybe feeling that there's better uses of their time at this stage.
Yeah, I see Purple commenting. There's actually quite a few checks in Deku Tree. You only really need the shield for 2 of them. Well, 2 and then Goma, but with all the skulls, yeah, 8 out of 11 checks in Deku. So it's not a terrible dip.
Doesn't look like anyone's going to be taking the dip, though. Alaszun is opting to just go Lost Woods instead of dipping Deku Tree at this point.
Yeah, still on the hunt for ZL, so makes some sense here. And you have storms as well, so all the better.
Look how far away the slingshot target is. This is like, oh, here we go. You got it.
Working real hard for a gold Skulltula token.
I wonder where ZOoTR is going next. Did he do fishing? He did do fishing, didn't he?
He did fishing. He's gonna go out and get the open grotto, I think, here.
Done the whole loop right now, so... Oh, wait, no, yeah, okay, he does have bomb shoes. Right? No,
the outlet.
That's right, Sponge didn't go there, so...
Namaha has them.
Okay, so it's just going to be one check. Yeah, this is a really unfortunate spot to be caught when your Child Link, your partner is already in the forest, and you've just completed your Lake Hylia loop and haven't been able to get much out of it, so... We'll see. This is kind of a I won't say desperation here, but it'd certainly be nice if there was a progression item hidden here in Open Grotto. Let's see it.
And I think this is fine. The other grotto's not in logic yet, so... Easy walk out, but he gets frozen for it.
Oof.
Yo, and let's point out the fact here. We got some chickens coming in at 20 minutes into the seed.
I should tell you all you need to know about how this seed has been so far.
Yeah, other than the hook shot, And a couple good songs. There hasn't really been much of anything.
Yeah, and now the decision of if you want to dip early forest becomes really, really like... It always... we've talked about this a lot in our own group, too, about forest with just... Because you have Sarias, so you can get there, but forest with just hookshot is a lot better than it has any business being in these settings, I think. How many did we say? How many checks was it? It was...
There's
I think it's
like
6 or
8
so.
Yeah. I thought it was like 8 or 9. I guess
I
don't
know
have rank yet.
Yeah, if you can get into the courtyard by any of the ways you do there, you can. And we do have a minuet of forest being found on Saria, too, so my prediction's wrong as well. All right, well,
And
forest
we're gonna
not looking terrible.
get another Storms Grotto here, though. So we still have a few grottos with storms we haven't seen. So we couldn't get the river ones earlier. That was unfortunate.
No river. Obviously, that hasn't been the Death Mountain Trail yet. Thing really too fancy, and I'm kind of excited to see what's on these chickens, because it's kind of a coin flip if the other team actually does chickens early, if there's some good on here.
And I think this would actually be a great way for the Lucksackers to make up a little bit of time, because Alaszun was not able to do some of those checks earlier, and it just seems like father-son bonding has been playing pretty cleanly so far. If this does have something, this will give him a great opportunity to make up a little bit of time.
Hey, and what's the verdict on chickens? What do you got, Andrew? Got a stick.
Not even an upgrade.
Nope, just stick. Alright, we see a reset there. I wonder if this is going to be a Deku dip.
I think a Deku Dip could be pretty fruitful at this point with how little they found. But I also think, do you want to rush Adult Forest, get the song? We don't have ZL yet. There aren't many places it can be.
Right. I'm starting to think that that is the way to go at this point, because, and again, knowing what we know, being able to see all the runners, if Wolfo's Grotto doesn't pay out here, which
it didn't.
It didn't. Well, I mean, we only had one runner who could get that currently, if I'm reading their trackers properly. So that could have been a real game-breaking moment. But as it stands right now, Deku Tree and Dipping Forest, I think, are probably the only real opportunities that we have, unless Death Mountain Trail, Freestanding Piece of Heart or something has it.
Well, we have the well too, but that's why I'm thinking you try and go to the forest area, see if Lullaby's there. Oh, we got a wallet though.
Ooh,
now
that's not in logic, but this is big.
It's not in logic, but now we can buy some things, including a bomb bag.
Oh, thank God, they can double defense.
Finally. Finally, and okay, yeah. Finally, we were talking about Wolfo's Grotto earlier, and it having, if it had something that could really have opened things up, and turns out it was another check in the forested region that actually ended up blocking it. So we are going to see our first trip into well too. Again, it's a trip into well without explosives, so.
Yeah, no explosives, no song. That's.
Are they
Right, so
both going well? No. Okay.
We're gonna see what's on 10 skulls here.
Okay, so it looks like Namaha is going to be going well here shortly, unless they didn't do some weird graveyard check, which I think they did anyway, so we're going to see.
It's weird if Namaha goes, though, because Namaha's out of bomb chews now.
That is unfortunate, but he can't, like, not, like, save Scum because he got the wallet.
Right.
Yeah, but he can go buy a bomb bag.
That may be what this trip is for here.
They don't have a songs. They don't have good warps, so coming out here is probably the best way to get to the town.
Everybody keep an eye there on the bottom right. Dracarys is going to be our first player dipping into well. Still plenty of checks that can be done, and having Boomerang makes this even more appealing. So
Oh,
let's
there's
keep our
another
eyes out.
bomb bag in the well.
Whoa! Ask and ye shall receive.
The payout.
So, okay, wait a minute. What else was there that the wallet locked? There was a super expensive bow,
bow.
there was double death, and then there was...
Another wallet, but it's just the
And-
bow, but we don't know if we need that one.
And then Begoron sword as well, and I think that was it. So maybe getting that wallet isn't going to open up too much for them. It's going to give them a bomb bag here, but...
He's gonna be sad when he goes back to the well and sees he didn't need to buy this one.
Yeah, this is definitely our in-logic bomb bag. And that does put the wallet in logic, too. We're still missing 2 shop checks.
He's not going well. He's going adult? No?
Coming
Setting
back?
the time of day. Setting the time of day,
Nice.
baby.
He's going bowling first. He's going bowling, then maybe adult.
Uh-oh. Couldn't get the boomerang trick. We're just gonna do the normal torch.
Yeah, we still could have some wallet lock stuff in Goron City or Zora's domain.
Still plenty of time. And meanwhile, Alaszun has gone back adult, so Alaszun might be our first player to dive into Forest at some point, if they so choose. Hopping out here, though.
There's
This
the
is going to be
minuet.
Yeah, there it is. So, the 2 things that we wanted to see, it is going to be the Lucksackers who are going to make these 2 checks first.
And there's ZL, like I thought. So now we have more checks we can do in the well. So we see Alaszun, his teammate, might be wondering, will I have to come back here?
Triple well dip is still on the menu, everybody.
Well, it could have been for Dracarys if he didn't get the bomb bag in there.
Well, if they bail without doing dead hand, and then dead hand is their last check, then we get the mythical dead hand triple dip. This is interesting. He did not actually end up going into Forest Temple. He just did that check, so I guess.
Yeah. Well, they
Wait,
still.
have they not had somebody do Ganon's yet? No, one of them has the hook shot. Oh, I get it. Okay.
No, but
I'm
he.
pretty sure.
Alaszun
I'm
does
pretty sure
not, so
this-
he has to get it here. Or no, he
I'm
does.
pretty sure that
They
was
both have
Alaszun
it.
Bonding's first pedestal check, by the way, just now.
That's fine. They haven't
30
done
minutes
it
in.
yet.
You love it. So, taking a look at
Alright.
the dungeons that we need to get through, we still need a lot of items. Like, we're not even close to being able to do some of these.
Well, we just got a trip to the basement in the well because they fell in the invisible hole. Oh no.
Are we finally going to see it? Yes, Namaha.
You're getting your wish.
So 2 people getting hookshot right now. There's someone in Forest Temple here, Namaha is, and again, we probably gonna be seeing several checks in here that makes Forest Temple dip worth it.
Well, you know what this means, everybody. We may once again get to see 3 gamers. Hey, the butter knife. Excellent. We may get to see 3 gamers once again inside a Forest Temple.
The most exciting of streams coming up if we see that.
Looks like Allison's not going to go there just yet.
Oh, he wants the... Is he checking? Did that team check the grottos over here? Maybe that's what he's doing.
They don't have the
Well, they didn't
wallet,
have-
so
Right. Well, they didn't have, and they didn't have bombs either because just got the bomb. Alaszun just got the bomb shoes, and of course, Dracarys is still inside the well, so still a few checks for them left to do in this region.
Yeah, I have a feeling that someone's gonna be going Dodongo's Cavern shortly because you have bombs now.
Yeah, I would bet Sponge is gonna head out to Goron City and maybe Cavern.
Yeah, and this Sponge is definitely gonna get the wallet to buy the bomb bag here.
Oh, but we see a bow. And a well.
This is big for the Lucksackers here. Getting well and bombs, and they know where Hookshot is, and they have Minuet, so...
They
Now the
need a
question-
strength.
They
yeah.
do, but...
Right. I think they ran out of checks, so they're just gonna bail out to Lost Woods here.
Have to get their wallet too. Very shortly here.
But now you have to think that Lucksackers now has gotten a bow without needing to buy it. They've gotten bombs without needing to buy it. So, like, at this point here, like, is the wallet even need to be used for anything? I feel like someone's got to be going up to Goron City and Dodongo's pretty soon.
Yeah, I would say so. Really, I think the player to watch right now is going to be Dracarys. Now that Dracarys has so many things logically opened up, that's going to be really big. And it does look like Namaha as well, like you predicted, is going to head on up there as well. So we are finally going to get to see the mountain opened up to us a little bit.
Sponge is going to be checking the song in the composer's grave.
Yep, and then he can full clear the well, which will be nice for them to get their bow.
Oh, Namaha's just gonna spaghetti on Link the Goron here. Never mind.
He's
That
the
is the
final
bad
boss.
Pretty much.
Alright, that works.
When in doubt, blow yourself up on top of him.
Angle commentary, everybody. It's beautiful. When in doubt, blow yourself up.
Hey, whatever works. This ain't quad damage.
Epona's song inside the composer grave as well, so now we finally have desert access.
Check your shield. We finally found it.
We did it!
Things are starting to pick up in a hurry now.
Yeah,
Is
suddenly
that-
everything's open.
Whoa. There's a sale on money in the Goron shop. Did you see that? It's a huge
Oh,
rupee
he's
for
doing it.
95 rupees. He did it!
For a whole, what, 44 rupees there?
The sale on money.
Gonna be able to pick up Bolero as well. The Bolero check, rather, which is Song of Time, if I remember correctly.
Alright, hovers on the cone in here. Let's see if it's possible. Let's see if it's a thing. Oh, he's not gonna check it right away. Oh, nope, we're not gonna see it. It's a heart piece. Alright, Star. You're good for now. Yeah, but there's a Song of Time, which of course we already knew that.
Much more powerful in these settings too. Another kind of nice thing about these settings, some songs get a little bit buffed, or in the case of Song of Storms, get outrageously buffed. They were already strong to begin with, but Song of Time, very useful. A few different skulls that Song of Time makes a little easier to get, and especially when Forest Temple is on play. If you don't have bow, Song of Time, very, very nice to open that up to.
Alright, Alaszun checking the scrubs that I always forget about. Yeah, now this is gonna be interesting to see if having ZL for Bomb of the Well, as opposed to the other team not having it, is gonna pay off for Sponge here. He doesn't have bombs though. He's just bomb shoes.
Alaszun picks up magic inside the Scrub Grotto here. Very nice find for them.
Don't think it's gonna like help them right now is the only thing, but of course it's something that's good to have.
Right, and if that other magic is inside, I don't know, Shadow Temple, that really, really is a nice find early on.
Alright, so I think, what do we got? Namaha's doing the upper fountain check here, and I think he's going to, I'm not sure where he's going to go after this, actually. I think he goes down to the Dongos, probably.
Oh, he got the strength. He's going.
Oh,
Wow, what a find!
He doesn't
That's
have
huge.
the bow yet. He needs his teammate to grab the bow in the well and tell him.
That's gonna happen
I still
soon.
think, yeah, I still think he goes to Dongos here.
Yeah,
It's fine right now, and then I think once Sponge sees that bow, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky call to make. And again, Alaszun did not opt to go for that check. They were in the same area, and Alaszun finding the magic we thought was really going to put them in a good spot. But strength, that might have been the worst item to be at the top there. Because how do you schedule a trip back there?
Well, the thing is now they need to just find another, they don't know it, but they need to find a strength in a different spot at this point. I don't think Sponge is going to be seeing the bow here for a little bit. So I guess he's
looks
not
like
going.
He's fighting
Okay.
Dead Hand first.
I'm trying to think what he's... Okay, he's gonna do the maze.
Yeah, hopefully we see Namaha go get the magic with the scrubs too.
Well, I have a feeling he's not gonna forget about that. He's not me.
He's not you.
Man, if that's the only logical strength, what a rough break for Lucksackers.
Ooh, but what did Namaha find?
Ooh, it's Jabu time.
A one-way ticket to Ice Cavern is what he found.
See, me and Engel talk about, oh, it's time to go to a medallion dungeon, while Nine's like, Ice Cavern time.
I'm sitting over here thinking, hey, they can clear Medallion Jabu and Medallion Forest now. But you know, maybe Ice Cavern's the play.
Oh, Namaha, please don't die. Okay, that was a little scary.
Is that the wooden barrel rating?
The wooden barrel of not checking the pedestal fame?
Among other things.
And we do see Namaha go get the magic.
Alright, so to kind of catch up the Raiders here, we're kind of at an interesting spot here. So you can see on the right side, which is the Lucksackers, they are in forest right now, but they do not have strength. They don't know where strength is, but on the left side of your screen, they do have strength and they have hookshot, but they do not have bow. So this is kind of a very unique situation where like both cannot finish forest, but they both can do some checks in forest while the other team cannot do other checks. So very interesting time right now.
Yeah, but we are going to see Sponge get the bow very shortly here in the well. Which I think gives them a decent lead right now in the race.
Yeah,
And
I think it's a pretty good lead, and really it's just going to depend right now if for some reason Dracarys opts to go check. If Dracarys goes and checks the fairy fountain at the top of the mountain, then suddenly this is really close. But that's such an awkward check to try to work back in if you haven't done it already, especially without Bolero.
And the even bigger thing is that spirit is required. So like, you don't you only have like one more strength you can really find here to like be like, oh, we don't need to go back up there now. We found these 2 strengths, and that's if there isn't something behind Light Trial.
We also do finally see our first trip into Stone Dodongo. I think both of the teams at this point realize that it's not all dungeons. I believe they've all found the same general hints, and it was pretty easy to put it together from what information they found. So we are in the search phase of the seed, gentlemen.
All right, so we see, of course, Dodongo's Cavern here, but now we are about to see Bo come out, which means I wonder if Sponge is going to do Forest Temple instead, which I could see that happening. I think this is... Oh. Uh-oh. No shield today, though.
Unpleasant.
Alright, so Goron Pot's dead. I think this is our first Dampe here as well. What do we get here?
I think we already saw it was nothing. I don't know if it was Namaha or Sponge. One of them checked it already.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're not getting anything great in the graveyard. Although they're gonna get Epona's Song. Which could put them further off course. Who knows?
Right now, they really have to hope that there's a second strength somewhere.
There's
on
a
this
second
path.
magic.
The other magic.
That's not the second strength.
Nope. It's the second something. Goron's keeper of the magic power right now. So wow, the mountain holding a lot today. Not even the dungeons, just the mountain itself.
Yo, but hear me out, okay? If the Child Scrub in Death Mountain Crater was on, then Drac would go up there right now and he'd find the strength. So this is clearly an argument. We need to turn that Scrub on in the next tournament.
I think you're gonna need a lawyer for that one.
Can I ban one of the commentators? Do I have this power yet?
Hey, but don't hate on me, because Drac's gonna at least get the Rudo's letter here, so they can at least get Ice Cavern out of the way.
Now we're talking. You've earned some favor again.
Oh, thank God.
We got Sponge getting the magic too, so both teams finding both magics here.
What a split. What a fun split. So now, I suppose Dracarys might be the first one to head up to River? This is interesting, because they have everything necessary to do it, but nobody's done anything in Domain so far. There's still a shop in play, too.
Yeah, in River, as we saw earlier, they didn't have storms. I think it was Alaszun went up there.
We got a
that was
silver
right before
scale
they
sighting in Dodongos. Alright, so it looks like we got Alaszun is going bottom of the well, probably to get the bow.
Bow and
Yeah,
the bomb.
Yeah, you can grab both real quick.
Yeah, and I think he has CL now, so he can full clear. Okay.
He'll probably clear out the rest and let Dracarys know he can rest easy, that he didn't miss anything back there.
Oh, Drac, what's the matter? Can't pick up that bomb flower there?
Oh, no!
That's too bad. Oh, he missed!
Well,
no.
at least you can check it. Not even going to make that part of it easy.
Or choose. Hasn't really been much else in Dodongos besides its silver scale. I suppose that allows a little bit easier access as a child to get to Zora's domain, but that really doesn't help them at the moment otherwise.
It's not a lot in there. Which does give an opportunity for some catch-up if Alaszun and Dracarys decide not to go into Cavern.
Could be a little, but again, they don't really have a great way forward either. At this point, Dracarys has to find some sort of progression item to get them back on the trail. Otherwise, I think we're pretty inevitably going to see them go to Dongos as well. There's just too many checks at this stage to turn down.
Yeah, we could see a Deku Tree dip from them, though.
I could also see Drac going Zora's Domain here, now that he has Boomerang and Letter, and I think he is going that direction.
Yep, so they better really hope that they find something they need. Hammer at this point? Hammer would be the perfect item for them to find. Would get them going back up on the mountain, open up some more checks for him there. And if he's able to do it while Alaszun is still a child, then it becomes much, much easier to justify both being in the same area.
All right, what do we got in the really dumb skull? I think those are seeds. Nothing!
One day, the item I need most is going to be on that skull, and never gonna get it.
Oh, and we are going to see our first Deku Tree dip from Sponge here. A little surprising. They have everything to go up and do Jabu and Forest Temple, and yet here he is dipping Deku.
Yeah. This is an interesting play for sure. And remember, you got a lot of Sphere Zero checks in here regardless, but I'm not sure what the thought process was behind this otherwise.
Yeah, you have some easy checks in here, but I think when you have 2 medallion dungeons you can clear, I gotta say you do those first.
Yeah, and he can very easily just go to like Jabu right now, or just gonna Dalton do Forest, but again, I'm not the one in the bracket, so
yeah, maybe he knows that, you know, there's another strength in here.
And a reminder to everybody just joining us, the winner of this does move into top 8. This is the final round of top 16. They will move on to play against Dampe Digging Rush, which just a fantastic name, gotta say. But yeah, a lot at stake in this one.
A lot at stake, and we see fire arrows down on the frogs. So now we have our first actual source of fire. We'll see if that comes into play.
Otherwise, the Dongos Cavern here is pretty much not delivering unless this is something at the end.
We're down to the king.
Oh boy.
Alright, place your bets. Will this be a 2 cycle? Will there be Mom Spaghetti on stream? Let's find out.
I'm saying 4 cycle. I think the king mixes them up today.
Okay, one cycle. You didn't mess up. Meanwhile, we are about to end the Zora's shop on the screen of Drac here. What do we got? Nothing!
Nothing, but we do have Lens of Truth down in the Deku Tree. Too bad we don't need it.
Nope.
Because we do know the treasure chest game is dead. And our runners don't need it to go out to the wasteland. We have the song anyway. It's
Oh no, Eliza lost his shield. Goodbye.
Goodbye, shield.
Alright, what's the king got?
Claim check. See, now that could be a reason if Alaszun or Dracarys beat the king, that would be a reason to go back up top.
Well, I believe that they have... We know that Bigoron is dead, though.
Do we? Did we have that hint?
Yeah, we had that.
Bigoron.
We had that hint. I think he's going to craft us a mighty fine gold skull.
Oh, that is unfortunate then.
That's why I'm telling it. The best case scenario for them is somewhere in this Jabu, Zora's Domain, Zora's Fountain loop, they find Hammer. I think that's the only way that they head back up to the mountain, or any time in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, you get Hammer, you can go check the ferry, check the scrubs.
Well, and they'll, because
Check
they
both
have Song of
ferries.
Time, and I'm sure all these players are proficient in bomb jumps, they're going to be able to get through a medallion dungeon there too. So, if you are a fan of the Lucksackers, hope that Hammer comes up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that or if they just happen to run into another strength out here in Domain or something. Because we don't know that we need all three, so maybe the other two are out here they can grab.
Namaha is opting to become a kid here. I wonder if this is the Zora's Domain dip we've been aching to see forever. But that's kind of interesting, though. He's the only one with strings, so why wouldn't you just go Forest?
Yeah. Did he get the bow yet? I don't think he's...
Did he not mark it? Wait, what?
He might not have the bow, in which case he's just going to the well to get the bow. This is probably what we're seeing.
Yeah, he needs to grab
no,
the bow first.
He would have warped then.
Well, that's true, he has the song, but...
I have to think he has the bow and didn't mark it.
No,
he doesn't have bow.
Huh.
So yeah, so he is going to bomb of the well.
Does he need how many skulls does he have?
Oh, they might be close to 20 skulls. That might be part of it too.
And that's 19, so...
Alaszun, meanwhile, is taking the weight of shame, waiting for the daytime cycle to come around.
You never appreciate Sun Song until you need it. He does not have bow. Okay, confirmed.
Another scale on Goma. Well, what do you know?
Well, gold scale is in play.
Gold scale to get iron boots? Who knows?
Not again!
There's no way it
Actually
happens a second time, right?
Sponge getting gold scale there might actually be really good, because now he can just dive in Lost Woods and go straight to Jabu's from there.
That would save him a little bit of time. And now Alaszun goes ahead and buys some bombs there as well. Surely they had it communicated. Oh, okay. Buying the bombs to do this check, I don't believe we've seen any of our runners do. Unless, was that Namaha that just did that check? The Hyrule Castle Fairy Fountain?
Yep.
Yep.
So they're going to be mirroring each other for a little minute here. And it looks like all of our runners are going to be mirroring each other here for a bit, because you called it, Tudos. It is going to be Zora's River now here for Sponge.
Yeah, I was kind of fortunate that I found Zora's scale there, because it makes a really nice transition into this area.
So that means that Stone Dodongo and Stone Deku turned up essentially empty. I mean, there's some nice utility items in both, each one having a scale, but...
It's only if we need both of those scales.
Yeah, that... We're not out of the woods yet on that one. It is true.
But yeah, this is again why I'm thinking Jabu and Forest. I would have prioritized those over the stone dungeons, but
Yeah, I mean, that's a... I can definitely see that for father-son bonding, but again, not coming up with a second strength here.
The Lucksackers are definitely in trouble without finding that strength.
Yeah, because, I mean, Alaszun going here to Deku, of course, we getting to see all four perspectives know that this is technically a wrong play, but I think if you're playing the seed right now, this is...
It's a good play if they don't... Yeah. They don't know where the strength is, so hitting your check density, 100% right play for them. Just we know it's not going to pay out.
Yep. After this, can swing around and pick up the bow as well, so, I mean, it makes sense to knock out all of this. The question now is going to be, while Alaszun is doing this, will we find anything in Jabu? So far, Jabu not giving us a whole lot.
Not yet, but if it does, you know, we got Dracarys getting it first. That could be, it could certainly be big if it's Hammer or something.
Yeah, Hammer's the big one right now.
That
We do
could
still need
certainly vault
second
them back
strength.
up. Yeah, second strength in here.
Mirror shields. That could. Well, we know that we're going to need that at some point.
At some point, but you want to see, you want strength or hammer. You want to get some actual progression first.
Dins as well. Dins. We still need hovers. We still need a lot. So I mean, it's really no wonder to go for it. Sorry.
Yeah, we still need quite a bit. We see Namaha going to get his bow.
I feel like a lot of the dungeons have been like not very good so far. This is a little bit surprising.
We're starting to run out of checks. We have entirely too many items that we need to get right now to not have any of these. I agree with Engel. I think that right now Forest has to have something. Just so many checks.
No. Ice Cavern has something. Correcting you right there.
Could be ice.
You know, it's true. I'm not beating the drum for my home, but it's there.
I mean, I wouldn't count either team out yet with the way this is going. We could have a wild goose chase where maybe it's in ice, maybe it's GTG.
Wait, have we gotten a wasteland? Okay, we did get a wasteland hint. Okay,
Yeah, we got the nice wasteland hint, so they're not going to go there, but
yeah,
we do have opponents to head out to GTG too.
And we have a bow.
Yeah, I think I agree. Because as far as this being roughly a tie right now, because father-son bonding, like their payoffs, like when they got ahead and found that strength, they didn't really get any other payoffs besides that, and they ended up doing stone dungeons that didn't give them anything.
They didn't capitalize off of that payoff. Obviously, they don't know it's the payoff, but they didn't take that strength and immediately say, well, let's clear forest and maybe get further ahead.
Yeah, but I think we're pretty inevitably going to see that now with where Namaha is, just got the bow, has everything that's necessary to move forward now. You might get your wish.
Yeah, like Star says, yeah, Namaha had to go get his bow, and I think we may see him go soon, well, one of them shortly. Well, yeah, I think Sponge will finish up Jabu. Namaha here, turning in the letter and going up.
We definitely got a skull mask hint, so...
Yeah, is he going to go up to Chowdgoron City? But no, they already checked that.
Yeah, I'm just not really. I just don't understand why no one has gone forest yet.
Ah, I see. He's getting the 20th skull.
Oh yeah, he has 19. That's what it is.
Tracker said 20 though. Did he just mark it preemptively?
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably preemptive mark.
Yep, there we go. We'll get to see the last of the skulls.
And just another comment for people who aren't really familiar with ZOoTRs who are watching this right now. If you see Drax screen on the bottom right, Rudo picked up Zora Sapphire. It's not actually Zora Sapphire in Jabu's belly. They are not playing with the development branch, which does update the correct item in Jabu's belly on that specific platform there, but the current stable version they're playing with always shows Zora Sapphire, even if it's not Zora Sapphire in here, so that's why you saw that.
now we're finally going to see Namaha going back out. More than likely headed to adult. Well, no, it looks like, is this going to be both of them headed to the river?
Well, no, here's the issue with
time
that.
of day.
Because, yeah, I don't think he could have made it.
Yeah, that's
so late.
That's close.
So he's just going to follow his teammate out to Jabu, I think, from this. Which isn't a terrible play.
No, it's really not terrible.
A lot of teams do like to try and stay close together with their partners so no one gets too far ahead.
Hey, I can't really hate on this play, but like, come on. Forest.
We just want to see
please.
Forest.
This is you're not going to see me beg someone to go to Forest Temple very often, but come on.
That's true. You are not a man of the forest. What is your favorite region, Tudos? Obviously mine's Ice Cavern, but if you had to pick one spot to be your home in ZOoTR, what would it be?
You know, I actually love the Forest Temple music, so realistically, just having that makes Forest Temple a lot more bearable for me. But I have music randomized out when I do rando, so it doesn't matter. Oh god, what would my home be? I don't know if I can pick. I feel like I like Dodongo's Cavern a lot more than most people, so I will say that. Not that it isn't already easy to do, but...
We have some people we know that absolutely hate it in these settings with all the extra checks you gotta go through.
Does make it a little different. Changes the dynamic. So, Jabu has been completely empty outside of Ice Arrows, which, I mean, is very much worth a Jabu dip to get. And also, whatever is here behind Baronade. So, again, guys, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now. I feel like at this point, it has to be either Strength 2 or Hammer. That has to be the next item that we're going to find.
And we know both skills are in play here, so maybe there's something on the diving game in Lake Hylia.
Yeah, there could be something just sitting on top of the lab, too. Tudos, you and I know that's it's going to bite us in the past when we don't have a good way out there.
Yep, it really has.
Yeah, Epona song's in play. Not quite as brutal.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Lucksackers do here now that Baronade has nothing, so where will they try to go? 'Cause they're still hunting that strength.
Oh, this is a good point. There was Ice Arrows in Jabu, so clearly this means Bongo Bongo's now in Logic.
There we go. Man, wouldn't that be a wild way to change the settings to make it to where only Ice Arrows work?
Suddenly, commentators with me.
Suddenly, Shadow Temple needs another item.
Oh god, yeah, never mind. I take it back. God, what, that four things you have to find now?
Well, so Din's magic hovers hookshot, and Din's magic hover that'd be 5.
In Nocturne.
And then Nocturne, so 6. So anyway, back to the seed here. I think if I was I'm trying to think here. I think if I was Drac, I would consider going Ice Cavern or GTG at this point.
Mm-hmm. Or do you just check fire and see, like, do we have a key? Can we go up?
I mean, if you're them, you have to do Dodongos at this point. Neither one of them have done Dodongos.
That's also true, yeah.
Like, at this, again, because we've seen that it's dead, we know that, like, of course it doesn't feel like the right play, but to them, you have everything to full clear it. It's an obscene amount of checks.
Or do you go to the Fire Temple, do the legendary check?
If dipping Fire Temple is the answer this seed is trying to get us to find, then my brain is not big enough, clearly.
Star.
Well, we are gonna get to see the triple Jabu. As everyone But Dracarys now. Either in or going to. So
Three
it's up to,
gamers in Jabu's belly.
it's up to Dracarys to save us and give us some new checks here. It
Ooh,
looks
rush
like-
Don John. Good point, Diesler. Run Don John. Rush Don John.
I think we're right here that he's gonna go Exalt and probably go Cavern. Dodongos, I mean.
That's definitely the play for them for sure. I don't like if GTG and Ice Cavern considered. Sorry, but Dodongos is way too good. Even though we know there's nothing.
Nope, he's going back.
Oh. Gotta buy bombs? No,
Oh, is he
bigger
buying
ons.
He's buying the big
Let's
orange sword.
go.
What a hero. All the time that they're about to save is going to make it up.
I just
I mean,
just
it's a
wanna
quick
give
buy.
I just want to give a shout out to my boy Killy, who there was a scene where I would have beat him unless he found the Bigoron sword on his way to Ganon, and he found the Bigoron sword on his way to Ganon.
You can only air out your grievances on that one so many times, Cheetos. It was years ago. You have to move on.
I'm not moving on. I'm never letting it go.
All right. Huge.
Sponge, why are you wanting the stick? And he got ice.
I mean,
bread.
maybe he thought it was an up. Maybe he thought it was an up, a stick upgrade. But that's mean. That is hugely mean.
You have 6 sticks. What do you need more for here?
Oh yeah, he also has the butter knife. So, oh wait, no.
Yeah,
Sponge-
and you have the butter knife. So, like, what
wait,
are you
no,
doing?
No, never mind. Sponge doesn't have the butter knife. My bad. That was Namaha that had it.
Yeah.
I don't know. A
Yeah,
little
that was-
insurance. It makes sense, but still tragic.
The butter knife was on the first skull in Forest Temple for those who weren't here when that happened. See, I'm trying to figure out where Drac is going next. I think we said this was Dodongo's. Well, once he does the song check here.
An interesting little side trip Alaszun made. He stopped out at Domain to get these childlike Hylia checks that they kind of skipped over earlier, so... You know,
I mean,
I
at
like
this
this little side
point-
trip.
I mean, at this point, you're starting to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel for a lot of these things that you're missing, so I can't really blame them for that. And then you essentially get a free trip back to the castle anyway, which I don't think he's going to be doing.
No, he's going to go back to Jabu.
Oh, right, he hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, he started in Domain. Since he had the scale, he said, hey, it's a quick little dive out to these child checks that we haven't done. Grab those, run back, and now he's going to beat Jabu, I think. Which I think is a pretty good route.
All right, Sponge sees some more sticks, and he got one. He wasn't fooled this time.
Hey, it's scary. If you don't have enough sticks, you gotta throw pots at Baronade.
Hey, that's a great strat. I need to see him more often. I think I saw Riley have to resort to doing that one time.
It was one of these races earlier in the tournament.
Blasden is heading up to Jabu's, of course, and like I said, I think Drac is about to head to the Dongos.
He's gonna hop in the boat game. We haven't seen this one yet either, I don't think.
No, this one we didn't see, I don't believe. So we'll see what this gives us anything. If they find a strength here, then they get bailed out. And for those who have not, who are just got to the stream recently, we know Dodongo's Cavern is dead besides a Zora scale, so it's not going to be much of anything there, and it is a stone dungeon as well. All right, and then on the bottom left of your screen, ZOoTR just finished Jabu's here, and I believe we can expect. I wonder where he goes here, because obviously he doesn't have strength here, and I probably doesn't want to make the trip up to get the first strength quite yet here. So I wonder where he goes here, because I would expect Namaha to be the one to go forest instead of Sponge. Let's see, and like I said, we have Ice Caverns in play. We have GTG is also in play. So I'm just curious to see where he goes here.
We do see Nocturne. I think he may just go up and pick up the strength.
It's possible. This is their fastest adult warp too, so who knows?
Yeah, like they don't have a good warp. This is awkward to get to no matter what. So maybe they say, hey, just go get it.
And Bolero fires on Ocarina of Time, so you're not getting an easy way back there ever.
Oh well, first he'll go adult from this, but then we may see the quick Nocturne back.
Go bind Tunic to dip fire. Let's see it.
And we do see Drac going in, and he's gonna be sad into Dongos.
Yep, indeed.
Unless that gold scale.
Oh, actually, Namaha is going to Child Spirit. Very interesting play here. I was not expecting this to happen. So I wonder if this means Sponge is going to do Forest Temple. Why is no one doing Forest Temple?
Because it's Forest Temple. No, nobody wants to do it if they don't have to, but...
I mean, I'll give you that.
Well,
I'll give you that.
The other thing to note about it is that there's only one person right now who can technically full clear it, too. So the question really just becomes, when are they going to pull that trigger? And one thing that is kind of, I just popped back in as this was happening, but Dracarys did buy the Goron Tunic. So I think the intent to go Fire Temple is very much in their minds. So this may be the opportunity for them to make up a little bit of time here, depending on... Well, never mind. We know what Namaha is going to find here. It's going to be a key. And that's really going to be it, unless they go deeper.
Yeah, I think the option to go deeper into Spirit Temple is definitely on their minds, because this is a medallion dungeon, so like it's definitely not a terrible play. Oh no, he broke his stick! What are you doing?
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, he's got to leave.
Oh no! But maybe finally he can go Forest Temple because of this mistake.
No, it looks like Sponge here is gonna go pick up his strength, maybe come back and do Forest. I think that was their original plan. Was probably.
Yeah, first Sponge to go get strength and come to Forest Temple. So now they're probably just gonna do Forest Temple at the same time at this point. Yeah, there's no way that wasn't the plan. So
yeah, Namaha had the way to clear Spirit, but
not anymore.
It was the plan, and it was a good plan. It did hit a slight roadblock.
And as you can see, Namaha running through Kakariko again to get to town. Not having those warp songs really hurting our runners here.
Yeah, and we know that Serenade is behind burning cack. So,
but it just makes that stick so much more punishing.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very good opportunity.
Namaha.
Oh,
what? Okay, no! Oh no!
What am I witnessing right now?
Is he stuck? Surely
I don't think he's yeah.
Oh
okay.
No!
There was no way getting up there. He tried.
What a rough last minute and a half it's been for Namaha.
Please make it before night.
Please do
Oh
not.
my god!
I
The
think
problem
he's
too
got
was
a
he
bookie.
wasted time, but he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it.
Well, if Alaszun Bonding wins this, we're gonna have to talk about that little sequence of events here.
The whole 30 seconds lost there.
Well, the whole broken stick into this jumping on the bridge.
Now, we do know that the only thing that was child locked was one key. But we have,
key.
of course, we haven't seen anything on adult side for obvious reasons, still missing the strength. But if they have to go back child to get that, that could be kind of interesting, because there's a couple other people in the chat have pointed out they've done everything they needed to as child. So if they don't need that key, it's going to be... it's always nice when the child part of your game is done.
Right, and they will have 3 checks at the start of Adult Spirit with the skull. They have the song. So, you know, they've got decent chance that they won't need that key.
Well, gang, we are going to see 2 gamers inside a forest temple. Father-son bonding. They're both going to be in there. So, yeah, they've... At this
Bonding in the
point,
forest.
there really is nothing else for them to do. I mean, there are some other checks that they can do, but this is your medallion. You can full clear it. There's still lots of checks deeper on in that you haven't accounted for yet. So this is just a, all right, whatever. We have to do this type of play. So this might be the cleanest overall sequence of Baronade fights I've seen over the course of a seed. I feel like all 4 runners have hit it pretty, maybe not 100% perfect, but no major mistakes on these Baronade fights.
Yeah, unlike me, which makes that mistake 50% of the time, not getting the quick cycle. Oh yeah, that's a good thing to point out here. Drac ran out of a bomb, so he's gonna have to kill the Bemis here. Hope to get some more.
And it does
Oh.
not.
Nope, not today. Let's kind of talk about like some of the items we still need here. Now we're still missing hammer, light arrows. We're missing a strength. We're missing mirror shield. We're missing hovers. We're missing irons. We're missing so many items still.
Yeah, we don't know if we need irons, but it is remarkable that with the few checks that are left, that we are still missing this much.
Sorry, not irons. I meant dins, but either way.
Yeah,
it's still six
that.
items
I mean that
left.
too. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
stone water. You
Stone
never
water's
know.
there. You never know.
I'm really trusting that this isn't gonna be like a 37 seed banger like IAI Gamers round 1 seed, but you never know.
Again, for everyone who wasn't there for that debacle, we saw a 30. The first time that Tudos and I commentated, it was a 37 seed, or 37 sphere seed, and after that happened, somebody in our group, Killy, he simulated those settings to see how many seeds it would take to get another 37 sphere seed. It was in the thousands.
And he couldn't even beat 37 spheres. He only found one that could match 37. So yeah.
I
Star
think
seed. That was a star seed, by the way.
Yeah. No, I don't think we're in danger of that, but if lab diving ends up having something, then that any semblance of this being a decent seed has gone away. After we said so many nice things about it at the start.
Right, Star says they didn't roll 37 sphere seed, so you're safer now. Maybe we're witnessing a 37 sphere seed right now. Who knows?
If there's nothing inside a forest temple,
Well, Ice Cavern, baby.
it has to be. It's either Ice Cavern or early GTG, but what a kicker that would be to get all of these items for Forest Temple so early.
Yeah, but if there's nothing, you split. You say, you go GTG, I go Ice. And we hope we find something.
Also, the early fire dip.
Well, have we? We haven't seen all of Hyrule Field either, have we? Did we even see the boulder on the south end?
I
I don't remember.
know.
I think so. No, they've been shuffling a lot between different parts of Zora's domain and in and out of CAC because it's our only warp song. So pretty much every check that they've made has been either coming out of or going into CAC. So
Yeah, so there's a few checks out there in like Lake Hylia as an adult. They're just, you know, kind of random ones that are off the path, but maybe it's what we need this seed.
this is really one of those seeds where you can really tell who the skilled routers are, right? Because a lot of these dirt rough checks, I mean, there is an element of luck to it, but it seems like the teams who win really often are able to somehow route those in as they're going around. And you know, I mean, talking about it, Alaszun earlier on in the seed not getting that strength is, I think, a pretty good example of it. Like, yes, in and of itself, that fairy is a rough check to make, but actually, think about it now. Was Alaszun able to make that check? They have explosives and I'll have to go back and look at that. This whole time we've been like wondering why that wasn't done. It might not have been possible. I'll have to go back and check that at some point.
Purple in the chat brought up a good point, by the way. If there is something on Lab Dive, logically it's on Goma and DC Vine Skull, which are both stone dungeons, and of course beating Goma. So if there is something on Lab Dive, then obviously that's not inherently bad per se, but like logically that's going to be a pain in the butt just to get those two items.
Yep, Alaszun taking the first death in the seed. And Allison's here just to get the bow, I'm assuming. The bow hasn't been marked yet, so.
Yeah, like Gav's saying, they might have been out of explosives and just orphaned that check, which that's just one of those unfortunate things.
Like, at the end of the day, it's only one check, so you really just gotta bank that it doesn't have anything.
And yeah, they might still go back and pick that check up in a bit. But they do have plenty of other options still.
Man, your only warp song. Gosh. Nocturne of Shadow being your only warp. Earlier we said we thanked Milan for giving us that early on, but can you imagine if for some reason they didn't have Nocturne right now, how long this all would have taken?
Yeah,
Jesus.
They do have Minuet, but that's...
Yeah, what if they got like Bolero earlier? No easy access to take care of all this child stuff early on.
I don't believe there's been much in Forest Temple so far either, so...
We're running out of checks in here too. See, I think after this one, it's what? It's Phantom Ganon, it's the skull, and it's the chest by the skull. So we got 3 checks left for Forest Temple to save us.
So yeah, after Forest is done, there's nothing in here. I have a feeling it's gonna be one GTG, one goes Ice Cavern. Like, that seems like the logical thing to do. Maybe one of them goes back to do Child Spirit just because of the debacle that happened earlier, but that seems like the right play otherwise.
Yeah, it's that or you take Epona and you ride around the field in the lake. Which I don't think... That'd be a decent play. You know, you have gold scale logically. Might want to stop by and see Tektite Grotto holds some crazy progression for you.
Yeah, but remember, both of these teams have split the scales, so...
Right, but you can, peek it and then you say, uh-oh, we gotta go and get that other scale.
Yeah, that would be some nice knowledge to have this early on. But it looks like Dracarys is going to be making a Fire Temple trip here. Again, earlier did end up buying that Goron tunic, and this is one of the few areas left that we really don't know anything about.
Yeah, but he's got a good opportunity to go check that ferry now. So I think we're gonna see him get this strength.
Well, then after that happens, then what? Do you just completely bail and go to Forest, or do you knock out the fire checks while you're here? You have to knock out the fire checks while you're here. You don't have Bolero.
Yeah, he could still do the check of legends and fire, see if there's a key or not. Tell his teammate, hey, come get your strength, and then maybe we'll see the double forest on the other side here.
Meanwhile, have we seen anybody do this Colossus Fairy check? I don't think we have, because if it happened, it would have been really early on, because remember, they just left from Forest Temple, or not Forest Temple, what's it called? They left from Spirit Temple after breaking that stick, so it could potentially be something. We might see Reverse Wasteland after this.
Oh, the other strength, the fairies. What? All the fairies.
2 fairies strengths this seed. What is going on?
And what
is this?
What a clutch thing to find, because now Alaszun, look at this, they're going to be able to go ahead and knock out Forest Temple while checking Fire Temple.
This is even bigger because on the other side, when did they go back to Spirit?
Well, okay, so I think this depends on at this point, obviously, because Namaha doesn't have 6 right now. Do they have Sponge go to Spirit as a child and do the child stuff?
There's entirely too much. There's entirely too much to do as an adult.
This is big because, I don't know that they go back to being a child with how awful the songs are and having to run all that.
I mean, versus
GTG and Ice.
They have 3 checks left to do as a child.
This might have been the thing that the Lucksackers needed to get in the lead here.
This is a race, everyone. Holy crap.
And man, what again, just a stick breaking, running out of explosives too early completely changed the dynamic of how these two teams have had to approach it.
Yeah, Gav, I don't know why Namaha didn't check that ferry when he was there.
Maybe just frustration or something?
He went straight in, and then he got frustrated with the stick. Yeah, they might go clear up the field and do a bunch of other things first now.
Drac checked the legendary check, and he just bailed. I don't think it was anything.
Right, so here he needs to go find this other strength. That will really...
I think he's going to, because he just climbed out of Fire Temple, and you normally wouldn't do that unless you're planning on staying here. So I think this is going to be...
He's going to go get it.
What they need.
Yeah, this is big for them.
It is, because now they're going to be able to do Adult Spirit, and on top of that, to be able to do Adult Spirit is great, but it also makes GTG a much, much more enviable play here.
Oh, the 1-cycle Phantom Ganon?
The fastest
yes.
Phantom Ganon.
Does Phantom have anything, or was Forest a bust too?
Find out. What if Phantom Ganon is a strength? Then what?
So the 2 strengths were, one was fairy in the desert, one is fairy up on the mountain.
The biggest
bomb bag.
Wow.
This was the logical bombs. Wrap it up.
So what a turn of events here.
Yep, and here's Dracarys going to get it.
Yep. What a turn of events. We said that they either needed to find their hammer or find something that could give them a chance to find another strength, and they found it exactly the right time. Now they're going to be able to knock out Forest. Forest, as we know now, didn't pay out at all. They're going to be able to make the progression, and they're going to be able to break new ground.
Yeah, I would say definitely at this point, Lucksackers is now in the lead. I'm not sure how commanding it is because I think it all depends on where Namaha and TheSaltySponge goes next. If neither of them go Childless Force or Child Spirit Tunnel, which we think they won't, this is looking pretty bad for them right now.
So I just hopped into Dracarys' chat, like, because I always love to hear what happens when they find the item. All I heard was laughter, and then somebody say the word lovely. So,
oh, you love to see it.
You do, and that's going to be such an easy pickup to get the silvers here. You just warp back, you grab your silvers, and then you can immediately take the dive if you want. It looks like they're both going to knock out Forest Temple here, since, I mean, you know, it's a very sensible play here. You still don't know what is or isn't in there. Then you just both go out to get the final ones that you need, and I think right now Dracarys is going to be pacing the pack.
Ice Cavern? Ice Cavern? Are we going to see Ice Cavern for you, Nine?
It looks like it. That's the only reason you'd do this.
Why would he come out here, though?
They know where both strengths are, so are they just trying to knock this out just to get it out of the way?
Probably. I would think double Force would be the better play here, but I mean...
Double Forest or go to Spirit and the Scrubs outside of Spirit?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the play is here, but I mean, maybe they want that extra warp song, maybe? Clearly that's the way to go.
You're not going out of your way for a song.
No, so I will say, it's... I guess this, of course, in these settings, there's more checks, and it becomes a much more powerful play to make. But, of course, it's worth noting they're not going to be able to get anything on the bottom of the fountain, and I don't believe we had that. Let me double check here.
Maybe
we know King Zora's dead, so
maybe they think they're behind too because they did find the Death Mountain Trail strength.
Yeah, and
they know the other team could have had that way sooner.
That's definitely a possibility. They're playing because they think they're behind.
What is that on the hammer?
I don't believe it.
Oh my goodness!
The big brain play pays out.
This is why we are not in this tournament in brackets right now. This is the big brain play that we wanted to see. Sponge is going to be seeing that hammer pretty soon here as well, but this was big brain.
Man, again, it could just be because they thought, hey, maybe we're behind with where these two strengths were. We need to make a play to get ahead.
Well, you would never assume that your opponent didn't find the strength in the desert. Like, you know that they had it really early on. You assume that certainly they made a check to go out there and grab that. They've had bomb shoes and other options pretty early on, so... Wow. When metagaming pays out.
Yeah, so now they can just run right through fire, clear that up.
And then as soon as Alaszun finishes this, it's going to be a quick jaunt over now to Spirit Temple to get both of the strengths.
We are still missing a fair amount of items, so...
Still missing a fair amount of items, but a lot's about to open up for them.
Yeah, this is still far from over, because now if GTG has a lot of good things, this is definitely still a pretty decently close race, as long as someone goes back to Child Spirit for father-son bonding.
And now people in chat are talking about very interesting here too. Does Sponge clear Ice Cavern at this point? It does look like, indeed, they're both going into ice, and I can't fault them for it solely because, again, it's stronger in these settings. And when are you going to come back here?
Yeah, I think this is the play here.
I think once you committed to coming out here, even seeing the hammer, you're like, we still need too much.
Yeah, if they didn't need so many items, then maybe it's a different discussion, but I mean, with this now, they still need Dins, they still need Mirror Shield. As far as Father-Son Bonding is concerned, they still need another Strength. So, still a lot left for them.
Alright,
Man.
checking big pose before going into GTG.
Yeah, Namaha just clearing up the field, which is a fine play here.
Man. Colossus Fairy.
Hey, the fourth bottle.
It's just wild that the hang-up that swapped both of these teams in terms of their positioning was the same thing. I mean, obviously not the exact same thing, but missing a fairy check that had strength. Yo, careful, careful, these keys!
Uh-oh, 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 there's another ice keys right there.
Having a party.
Watch out, Drac.
What if this is an ice? What if this is a trap?
This is an ice trap.
It's another bow.
Oh, I think those ice keys are far away. He's gonna be able to sneak out of here. But now it's gonna be big here. If he dies, well, he'll get worked with the ice cavern. He'll probably want to finish ice cavern whether he dies or not, I guess. But oh, the quarter heart.
A few checks coming up here. Better hope one of them's a piece of art.
He's fine.
Everything's fine.
There's keys in here too.
What? It's the third strength.
Oh, it's still a third strength.
Unreal! This is gonna speed them up even more.
But now,
But now
on the other
Sponge
side, yeah, Sponge is gonna get it too.
Yeah, this is.
What? Father-son bonding could not have picked a better play. They're gonna get their silvers. They're not gonna get punished.
And now,
Oh
like,
my
Sponge could easily go
God.
Adult Spirit, grab that fairy on the way, and maybe there's something in golds.
I cannot believe what we're seeing right now. This has been a crazy turn of events for these teams. I feel like the momentum is like shifting back and forth, and they don't know it.
Yeah, this is a race we got here. and
It is
Dracarys,
indeed.
does Dracarys say, "Uh-oh, golds? Do I rush that?"
I feel like he's gonna be. Wait, which strength did Dracarys not get?
Dracarys didn't get the Death Mountain. Or no, he didn't get the desert.
Yeah, so it's a quick warp over there.
Yeah, so I feel like rushing Light Trial could be a play here. Well, you gotta do Spear Temple. No, you don't, because you don't have Mirror Shield. You can't really do.
You could do a lot in Spirit. You could start clearing that out while Alaszun catches up here.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of options for both teams at this point. They really open up the sea now that they know. Well, at the
Yeah.
very least, now that Sponge knows where silvers are.
Yeah, that's everything that we were saying about, like, when will they find a trip back to desert? When will they work in another trip back to desert? Would it eventually be, you know, somebody doing reverse wasteland? What was it going to be? Well, now the seed kind of plays itself for the next 15 or so minutes here. You know, you've got to go there, and you're just waiting on your partner to get far enough in that you know whether or not you have to clear it. You know, that's another thing that the Lucksackers are going to have for themselves here is, you know, they're going to know exactly how far they have to go. It's going to be perfectly mapped out. And it looks like it's probably going to be the same for father-son bonding, but now Alaszun, where does Alaszun go after this? I guess has to go Ice Cavern because they really need Hammer, but
Yeah, he needs to get the hammer and the strength.
I don't know who's winning at this point. I guess it is father-son bonding now solely because Dracarys still has to do Forest Temple.
Just want to point out here that Drac made it into this room a little bit before ZOoTR did, but ZOoTR catch up purely because he knew how to do the jumps for this room. And now he's ahead. Learning those jumps are definitely really good, useful tool to have in your arsenal when you're doing these.
Just what a place for Silvers to be. I mean, Lucksackers is going to need some real help at this point.
I think it's still pretty close. I mean, Drac could go do the golds checks first, maybe, and you know, maybe there's Mirror Shield or something in there that lets them get through Spirit faster, but
yeah, I mean, that's really what they're
nothing.
banking on. They need something, if they want, they need something locked behind golds, is kind of, I think, what it's going to boil down to there. Because the level of play and the execution from father-son bonding is very, very strong. I mean, you saw right there, I mean, Tudos was just talking about it there, overtaking simply with, I mean, with just better jumps and better mechanical skill. So when we see that very often, it becomes a matter of, is there a check somewhere that the more skilled individual player can't route in? And that's sort of what you bank on at that point.
And Namaha is not going to be doing Ice Cavern here. He's just going to be getting strength and then bailing. That's really all we're going to see out of him.
yeah,
Yep.
Sponge made sure to get the Sun Song check here real quick so Namaha would know to leave.
Oh, and you called it, Engel. It's going to be a check that we need with silvers, and then going to have golds. So the question will be, does he get those checks? Does he go for the gold checks now? Does he rush them? And if so, is there anything behind them? And if you are a fan of the Lucksackers, you are hoping beyond all hope that there is something in those light checks.
Yeah, although even with that, I think we're going to see father-son team here. They're going to head out to Spirit with those silvers as well. And you would think they'll check the ferry on the way
It
in.
looks like Sponge is going to be doing Fire Temple here, though. So again, there's a lot of options here. That was definitely one of the best options. So we're gonna hit up Fire Temple.
There is still the possibility that they're child locked in Spirit. We don't know for sure, but we do know father-son couldn't get in there.
All right, there's
All
our
right.
golds. We can have a save warp. Yep. Oh, they are banking on golds.
All right, if you are a Lucksackers fan, you need to give Drac your energy and just hope, just pray something is in Light Trial right now.
Or if you hate all of these runners.
Namaha's going to get the ferry check.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, if you hate all of these runners, you could still hope for Stone Water holding something.
Stone water, baby.
That's still something that could really change the run if there's, you know, Mirror Shield. Or, you know, your hovers or something in there.
Yo, the
Boots.
winter heart piece.
Iron Boots looking mighty tasty. Yep, and gold's about to be in play.
Yep, they're gonna get them.
On the other side, it looks like Alaszun is going to be going Fire Temple right now. So I guess the question then becomes, I guess, clearing Fire to map it out so that Dracarys can come around and do Forest Temple while Fire Temple's getting mapped out. Seems like a pretty efficient way to go about doing this.
Yeah, you can map out Fire, and between, you know, Light Trial and Fire, hope find the Mirror Shield so you can then map out Spirit. Unfortunately, that last fairy fountain didn't have our legendary 4th strength upgrade.
4 gold.
Don't tell JK.
Don't tell JK. Didn't happen.
And actually, some people have brought up an interesting point here. Alaszun grabbed the hammer and left. So, not going for golds. So at this point, this is interesting because before, the main way to get back in was if something was behind golds, but now that you don't both have golds, now if there is something behind here, you have to go back out to fountain again. So
Yeah, it's tough.
yeah, that's a rough spot to be in too, because now it's like, do you want to? I don't know. I guess I understand they're trying to make up time and skip things if possible, but
Okay, Gav's saying he saved an ice, so
oh, he saved an ice.
Yeah, you can just save warp back, fortunately, but I feel like it's still a waste of time, though.
Saving an ice, never mind. I did not see that. Yeah, that changes everything then. As long as he's doing overworld checks.
Looks like it's paying out. There's nothing in here so far. Still 4 chests left.
Zora Tunic. Stone water, baby.
Alright. This is it.
So I feel like in most co-op seeds, we generally get the idea of where like all the key items are about like an hour 15, hour 30 in. But in this seed, what are we still missing? We're still missing light arrows, we're still missing mirror shield, we're still missing dins, still missing hovers. So we're still at minimum 4 items from go mode at this point.
Yeah, and that's always a rough responsibility to carry into Fire Temple too, because you, like, of course everyone groans when you talk about full clearing fire and going all the way deeper into fire, but like at this point you have to.
Oh, there's the boss key in fire. It's
Shins kicked.
And there's always the question, if you go these early, with this early boss key in fire, like, do you just beat Volvagia and Bale, or do you full clear fire?
You have to full clear fire right now. There's too many items left. And I understand that GTG is still on the table. Oh, Drac, no. Drac took a tumble in Shadow Trial, but I understand that you, like, there's just too many items that you have to get here. You cannot risk bailing Fire Temple, given that you still need 4 items.
mm-hmm.
If it was 1 item, then, you know, split hairs, maybe you win some, you lose some. But with 4 items, you gotta go.
He's got 2 keys to go up. Personally, I would consider beating Volvagia first, just to see if there's a key on her as well.
Drac, no!
What is happening, Drac?
What's happening everywhere?
Don't worry, Drac. You still didn't have the biggest spaghetti moment of the stream yet, so you probably need to die here like 3 more times for that to happen.
Okay, so Sponge is going back to kill Volvagia. Like I said, we need to know if there's a key over here before we go up.
The Like gets some revenge as well. Goes ahead and spits Namaha off the side after stealing the shield.
What
chest
are you
stays
doing,
spawned.
Drac?
The chest stays spawned, right?
It stays spawned. That's fine. That he.
You know, a couple more mistakes and we would have had to start farming magic.
Meanwhile, Namaha lost their shield to that like.
Yeah.
So like, there's been 3
Shadow
shield
Trial
eating.
is,
There's been 3 shield eating likes in this very race. And he gets a shield back, but it's not the right one. Oh my god.
All right, so now
Now we're gonna see our first adult spirit, it looks like.
Yep. Very sensible. Dies in Volvagia? Wait.
He's
What?
done. No, he doesn't.
What? He doesn't have a fairy. What in the world?
He didn't pick up a fairy.
The last 2 minutes of gameplay have just been.
All of our runners are just.
Meanwhile, Alaszun making a nice, gentle stroll through Fire Temple as the world burns around them.
Yeah, let's get some F's in the chat for Sponge there.
What are you doing? Go get some fairies. No, he's going back in.
What a champ! What a champ!
Or,
It's
no,
personal now.
Dude, it's personal. He wants in.
Oh my goodness.
That's gonna be. Alright, well, we do see Namaha get a key in adult side spirit. He's breathing a big sigh of relief there after.
Yep. The sticks.
Eh.
Yeah, that is a big sigh of relief. For the time being, it's still possible that Spirit Temple Key Logic plays its games with you, and now Alaszun in a bad spot too. Yo, please.
Yo, the backflip over the tile. Let's go. That was a gamer moment.
Yeah, we do have a tunic, so our chat is right. Sponge will be fine. He's not gonna get hit this time.
Hey, we did it.
Very nice. And actually, both teams are in basically the same spot right now, doing the same general thing. The only difference, again, is that Drac hasn't cleared Forest Temple. That's kind of the real difference between these two. They all have access to the same general information.
Yeah, that's going to really be a time sink for them. But fortunately, there's still a lot of Wave the Hero items missing, so that's really, I think that's what they need to have to catch up. There just needs to be an item in a dumb place at this point. But I really can't see anything like too out of the norm right now for them to catch up at the moment, but we never know what'll happen.
No, they really needed golds to not be an ice cavern. For a strength to be an ice cavern there, if it was not for that, there's no telling how this would have ended up.
It's an interesting poll we got going on here in the chat. Double damage for the next tournament?
I voted no because I want quad damage. All of a sudden, those Stalfo spies ain't too pretty, huh?
They aren't pretty to begin with. In co-op settings where you're always going into Forest Temple with like 3 or 4 hearts, you may not have your shield yet.
Interesting to note here, by the way, Sponge is not clearing fire. They just bailed.
Yeah, probably gonna let their partner Namaha go ahead and map that out if necessary.
Now, if Alaszun goes and clears the rest of fire, and there's something in here, that could make things interesting.
Yeah, that could make up a little bit of time, but
I don't think it's gonna be enough, but it'll make it a little more close.
Yeah,
They
it'll
need,
make it a
like-
little closer. But like, I guess it depends on if they find anything else. If Father-Son Bonding finds anything else that could potentially distract them from going deep fire, then maybe at that point there's time to be made up. But we'll see here in a second what Alaszun opts to do.
Oh, there's the light arrows, so not gonna need Ganon to tell us today.
Nice.
One less item we have to search for.
Yeah, so with that, we're down to 3 items we really need. Hovers, Mirror Shield, and Dins.
And also, take a look. Alaszun is going to be going deeper into Fire Temple. Question now is how deep?
I mean, you gotta wonder where, you know, these 3 items are, because they're not gonna be in Shadow. I mean, Mirror Shield maybe, but
Yeah.
you need the others to get in, so...
And I think we're about to see what GTG has for us. Sponge is going ahead and reversing the Wasteland. So yeah, father-son bonding, I think, is in a pretty commanding position right now. I think they're making all the right plays from a logical and numbers standpoint.
Why is chat talking about Master Quest right now? We don't need to bring that disgusting game into the equation here.
You know why, Tudos? It's because 2 of them are currently in Spirit Temple.
I don't want to be reminded about the awfulness that is Master Quest Spirit right now. Thank you very much. I can see it now. Master Quest ZOoTR. You get Requiem of Spirit, and you get Song of Time early on. And you just think to yourself, please, God, no.
Suddenly, Stone Spirit looking real tasty in those runs. Oh yeah, good question, Tudos. Who do you hate more, Master Quest Spirit or Lasagna Kong?
I refuse to comment. It's a loaded question. I will say, though, Lasagna killed my run the other day, so... And I haven't played Master Quest Spirit in a while, and I probably won't ever play Master Quest Spirit again, so I think the answer there is quite clear. Alright, what's on child side? Oh, sweet! I got added as a mod of this channel.
Oh, let's go.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Wait, did you just delete Uni? Why are you bullying Uni Giant?
Thank you very much, Helma. I appreciate it. That's all I wanted. You can remove me as mod. Okay, there we go.
Already. It's been a mod for 10 seconds and already taking it out on the good people of chat.
Alright, anyway, we got the rest of Spirit Temple coming here from Namaha. Nothing on child side.
Poor Sponge getting frozen just for playing some archery.
I mean, that's how I feel whenever I do archery anyway. It feels like I'm frozen in time, and suddenly I look up and 30 minutes have passed and I still haven't gotten 1500 yet.
Yeah, happy 2 hours.
Happy 2 hours.
We're getting close here, I think.
I think so,
Well,
too. Go ahead.
Hellite says that he trusted me. I say that it was worth it. Happy 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. And you know, it's interesting to note, outside of the light arrows, Spirit hasn't paid out yet either. Now, there's still a few checks left to be had, but of course, a couple of those checks are locked behind Mirror Shield, so...
Yeah, we're getting close to the end of Spirit with nothing.
Yep, and Diving Lab is still looming large, guys.
All of Adult Lake is still looming large.
As we get further and further here, it's...
Is the Mirror Shield just sitting right on top of the lab?
These are the checks, Tudos. These are the checks.
Okay, this is the check that always has something for us in our group. Let's see.
It did it!
It had something!
Every time!
Every time, without fail, the right invisible chest in the hallway before our Knuckles has something for our group. And it delivers again!
Someone
does.
checked the code. Someone programmed that to always have an item.
But, okay, I will say this, though. Of all the items they could have gotten from that, that might be the worst. Because they still can't get into Spirit. Or, I'm sorry, Shadow.
Well, you say that, and we find our dins.
What the crap?
There it is.
So now,
It
hey,
is.
maybe Mirror Shield's in Shadow, and we're done.
Yeah, I think that's... I mean... I guess you do GTG because you're here, but, like, this... We just hit the fast forward button. The only hope now for the Lucksackers is they need something to be in deep fire. We said earlier that maybe if there was something that could distract father-son bonding from ever coming back and finishing Fire Temple and something was in deep fire, that would be the chance for the Lucksackers to make up some time. So right now, the Lucksackers, and Alaszun sitting on half a heart, mind you, they absolutely need either they need Mirror Shield to be up here, or they need Iron Boots and Mirror Shield to be something that's behind Iron Boots. That's all they can hope for right now. I don't see them coming back into this one if they don't find that.
Yeah, because on the other side, you've got Sponge. I think he's going to clear out GTG while Namaha gets dins and rushes Shadow.
All right, Pierre.
Although, it looks like Namaha... Oh, he needs some magic, it looks like.
I don't think they saw that
Or
this check
He
was
must have
dead
seen
either.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Namaha got their shield back.
I guess maybe they did remember that it was dead, but it was dead with the Hylian shield that they desperately needed. I mean, there's the hover is a good find, but again, they don't.
want dins, so it's...
Yeah, and I imagine this is going to probably be a full clear of Spirit, or at least everything that can be done in Spirit before we see Reverse Wasteland to GTG. I think Alaszun is just too committed at this point.
I guess we saw Mirror Shield. I wasn't paying attention, but I think it was on Skull.
Oh, it
Here's
is! They
Skull.
marked it! They got exactly what they needed!
Mirror Shield on the Pierre Skull. That's... They've got a chance now.
Yeah, this is a race because it depends if and again, think about this. Bolero is on Song of Time, so no one's gonna be getting that.
Every time
So
we
what
think
are the
one of
ch-
these teams is about to, take the win,
Yeah,
something happens.
We have spoken to reality like 4 plot twists in this seed. And again, oh no! I was about to say if they end up going towards Gerudo, then there might be a chance that they're back in the lead, but Drac, I think probably pretty wisely, is going to knock Forest Temple out. So now it's on Alaszun to figure out...
Yeah, they still gotta find that dins.
They do. Now, I guess the nice thing here is I feel like GTG is a somewhat logical play for them here, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be the logical play. Well,
Because he's done
yeah,
Forest.
they've done Forest. They've done
They
all
know
they
it's
can.
in
Well, they're
Spirit,
gonna finish Spirit though. They have Mirror Shield to finish that dungeon. But I think once Alaszun comes out of Spirit, having beaten it, he'll go to GTG.
this all just depends on where they decide to do levels at this point. It really comes down to that.
I think Lucksackers, they're gonna have the route to get dins fairly easily. It comes down to father-son bonding. Do they go back into fire?
Well, as someone pointed out, we just got long shot as well. So, I mean, that doesn't change a whole lot, but...
Well, they have gold scale. It's still not logic, but
No, well, now the issue is if they get not hovers, if they get irons in here, are they tempted to go stone water?
Oh no, if irons are in GTG, what a red herring that would be. Because between the 4 of them, we're in go mode currently. So we have everything accounted for that we needed. If irons show their ugly face here right now of all times...
Well, they could show themselves up in shadow, too, for father-son.
Wow. I can't believe it. Alassun's choice to go deep fire and full clear fire might be what pulls them back in.
Like you said, this was like the 4th lead change. Now, like we could see another lead change here if one of Alaszun Dracarys is like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go check the rest of not stone fire, but I'm gonna check the rest of deep fire and see what happens."
Checking deep fire, well, you have access to Shadow Temple though, and it's Shadow Temple in these settings. It's even more checks, and you only need 1 item. Like, what a... Oh my gosh.
Well, someone's gonna go clear shadow, and then...
It's gonna be Namaha. He went to get long shot, and now he's gonna go there. Yep. He doesn't have magic, though.
He's gonna need a refill, but...
Yeah, he'll have to check the plants outside. Or do the fairy thing. Yeah, the fairy thing.
So, yeah. Yep. The question now is, when do they make the call to go back to deep fire? First, it was strength being on the fairy fountain in Death Mountain. Then it was the fairy fountain in Desert Colossus. Then it was another strength being in the one spot, the best spot it could have been for father-son bonding, which was in Ice Cavern. And now Mirror Shield is what swings this back. Like, insanity.
Yeah, we're probably going to know the finish time a little better here once Drac finishes up Forest Temple here. He's probably like, what, 10 minutes out from that?
Furor's Wind, too. I mean, I guess at this point we're a little late in the game for Furors to make a huge difference, but we have commentated races where having Furors won somebody a race, or at the very least gave them a fighting chance at it.
Correct. We are in no mode right now. Father-son bonding is missing Mirror Shield, which is deep fire. It's on the Pier skull, one of the Pier skulls, and then Lucksackers is just missing Din's fire, which is the fortress chest.
Yeah, so now what we would hope to see from father-son bonding is for them to both clear out shadow and then maybe split up fire water.
Yeah.
That would probably keep them in the lead here. But
setting Furor's Wind very wisely.
Yeah.
Not going to be necessary, but setting it, always a smart play. Meanwhile, Alaszun's gonna go ahead and knock out the hammer checks here as well. So at this point, a lot of it is going to come down to how quickly Alaszun can get through Spirit Temple. And if I remember correctly, Alaszun was the one who got the child side key ages ago. So could speed things up a little bit.
Well, he's still going to check everything in Spirit because they are still hunting for that Dins, but...
And after you beat Spirit Temple, does he reverse Wasteland into GTG and then get it there?
I would think that would be the play. He had to go get his silvers here first, but Drac did all of Spirit, or all of Spirit that could be done without Mirror Shield. So, knowing all the keys for that and having the child side key could potentially make this a very, very quick trip through Spirit here for Alaszun.
Yeah, there he goes. He's gonna beat Twin Werova, come out with nothing, and reverse wasteland his way over to that Dins.
We can only hope that it's a reverse wasteland to Dins. That's really the only chance that they have at this point.
There's no other big areas for Lucksackers to go to, so
Yeah, they're not gonna check stone water.
well, they don't
without
have
irons.
Yeah,
Neither one of them has gold scale either.
It'll
they
suck
don't have the
though
long
if,
shot either.
although it will suck for them if irons ends up being in one of these mirror shield chests. But at that point, still, they can't just warp to Lake Hylia. It's really inconvenient to get there as an adult if you don't have the warp.
Even if you find irons in here, I think you're going GTG first. It's just better checks.
Especially if you know reverse wasteland. And the nice thing too is they'll never have to go GTG either, because they will be in go mode as soon as they find their Dins. Everything else is accounted for.
Namaha.
Every once in a while, those get you.
Nama is just dropping bomb spaghetti left and right on this race so far. Oh my goodness.
So now, this is also where, like, this is getting close here still. Father-son bonding still is... They've cleared enough of the game here that I feel like they get to Shadow pretty quickly. The question at this... Or, I'm sorry, that they go back to Fire pretty quickly after this. The question just becomes, again, how quickly they can get through this. Because Drac still has to do Fire as well after this. Now, thankfully for them, they're going to be able to beat Fire pretty quickly. They know where all the keys are. They know to get Mirror Shield. But the question is, will it be enough? And
It's so hard to say because like Drac is so far behind with medallions at this point.
Yeah, Drac being so far behind, I think it's going to give enough time for someone on the other side to find that mirror shield. Well, unless we have more falling from Sponge here.
man, Link has been taking a few falls this time. And after earlier we complimented on how like consistently good the Baronade fights were across the board, the platforming element of the game, and just a bite back.
Yeah, so Gav, I think you're right. Namaha should go Fire after this. The only other major things they have is Stone Water, which they don't have Iron Boots for. So you wouldn't go there first, I don't think. And then like some random checks like Adult Lake Hylia, but I think Fire is the play for them.
Yeah, I think the only way that changes is if somewhere in here they find Iron Boots.
Yeah, that might throw you off, but
Even then, though.
even then you still have Sponge who can do one and Namaha the other.
Right. Well, actually, I will say the tricky thing about that is that Sponge is the one with the long shot between the two of them. So
Namaha still probably goes Fire and says,
Yeah.
hey, there's your irons.
yeah, that definitely sends him that way. So a lot of twists and turns here, but the better gameplay, I think, is going to end up giving them enough of a padding that
Oh yeah, Namaha does. They both have long shot, but
they do. Where did they?
Yeah. he dipped it and
He
got
dipped
it.
just to get long shot.
He just didn't mark it.
Of course, he didn't mark it. That'd be too convenient for us.
Sorry, chat. It's a little much to keep track of everyone when the.
I think the dedicated trackers are more accurate than the runners themselves.
Yeah, well, he knows he has it. That's all that matters.
Well, I guess the good news about this is that Star did not make a terrible seed today. Can all thank them for that.
Yeah, not a terrible seed, and actually a seed with a lot of twists and turns. The different positioning of some of these items
So
really
it's
making us question what's different.
technically, I don't think we had to go into any of the stone dungeons, because Deku and Dodongo, we didn't need anything there.
Oh. A little bit of a scare with the Zora scale incident earlier, but other than that, there isn't really anything.
Yeah, and if the worst part about it is a moderately deep fire mirror shield, I mean, it could be a lot worse. The seeds started out slow, but sometimes the seeds that start slow end up becoming pretty streamlined and straightforward after a while.
Yeah, it always feels like the ones where you get a ton of items early, you're like, wow, everything's open, and now I'm on this goose chase for one thing.
Any seed where Ice Cavern gets to be the hero is a good seed in my book. So yeah, as people have predicted, both members of father-son bonding. How did you not get hit by that? Okay, both members of father-son bonding in Shadow Temple, as predicted here, all mapped out. Not a ton of checks left for them to get through at this point to clear this. So, right on schedule, as they say.
Yeah, they're gonna be looking for that mirror shield right now and Shadow Temple. They aren't gonna find it though. Nothing there except keys. Maybe irons.
Yeah,
Yep.
irons are really the only thing that could possibly throw them off the trail at this point. They've just cleared too much of the rest of the game. Like there's just simply not much for their trail to be thrown off to at this point. If they don't find irons, you don't go back and get gold to get in there without logic. You pretty reliably assume that it's going to be in fire at that point.
Yeah, for those just checking in chat there, to catch you all up, each team missing one item for go mode. We know Din's for the Lucksackers is on top of Fortress, and the Mirror Shield on the one Pierre skull. The difference, again, mainly is just Dracarys being a little behind on dungeons.
Yeah. Dracarys being behind on the dungeons, the location of the strengths completely changing the dynamic of it, and you know, I did not realize that Dracarys had not done Fire Temple. That was another real kicker.
Well,
If Dracarys had done Fire
yeah.
Temple, I think that it might be a little different because then it's a quick run up, but that's still another boss fight and a fairly lengthy boss fight at that.
Yeah, he has to fight, and then he still has to run all the way up to that Pierre skull, so it's... Even though the boss key's early, it's still not going to be quick.
Speaking of not quick,
Yeah, this is not looking like a great fight.
Don't die!
Oh! Oh no, please no. No, not like this.
No!
Not like this.
Jack!
Drac. Oh,
You hate
to see it. No.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
But overall, this has been a great back and forth race of them. One team finds something, you think, oh, they're in the lead. The other team comes back with something else.
Dude, those strength locations, jeez.
yeah, the strengths locations changing everything, and yeah, I think it might have been a little out of reach even before that, but the 2 or 3 minutes that are going to be lost to that, I think that may have done it. Drac just has so much left that needs to be done.
Oh, and what does Twin Rova have?
What? No! No! Twin Rove has iron boots. Why does that always happen? Tudos,
Oh
you remember that scene, don't you?
no! Yes, the scene where I'm like, oh, it's Stone Spirit. I'll just clear Spirit.
Allison, please do not go water.
Please,
They don't have a
please
warp.
don't go water.
They don't have a warp to get there.
Please do Reverse Wasteland.
He doesn't have long shot though, so
Okay, he's doing Reverse Wasteland. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, it's hovers. So
I'm saying he doesn't have long shot, so he's less thinking water. Hopefully, you know. Yeah, he's
Drac, not
gonna get
again.
hit.
Drac.
Please.
You gotta at least grab the fairy.
Shoot him with the bow. Shoot him with the bow. Oh no! Drac! This is brackets, by the way. Oh no!
It's okay. Meanwhile, Namaha showing us how it's done with Bongo.
Man, and Alaszun's gonna be in go mode here in a hot minute, but there is a chance that Alaszun might be our first finisher, but I don't know that it's gonna matter.
Namaha might go fire right away after this. I don't even think
I think
Alaszun
he
can be the first finisher.
I think Namaha goes fire here.
I think Alaszun will be in go mode first. Can't mess up Reverse Wasteland though.
Yeah. Namaha's already in Kakariko. And Alaszun, even if he gets the Dins for go mode first, Shadow's a long dungeon to have to run through.
Yeah, I can't remember how much of Spirit. Well, I'm sure enough between the two of them, they've definitely mapped out Spirit enough that it's going to be a quick run through Spirit for them. We do have a little further.
We got Namaha making a quick detour to the bow game. It's a quick check that they skipped a little earlier, so.
Chad has brought up something really interesting here. If they go GTG first, find long shot, and then dip to go do water with iron boots and long shot.
No, they're not gonna pull a me or a spike and skip the top of Fortress.
Yeah, I was gonna say there have been runners that have skipped the Fortress chest many times. So like it's
very, very good runners like the Spike Vegeta and me. Yeah. But we see Namaha going up towards fire, it looks like.
Yeah,
so they're gonna be getting it momentarily, but as long as Alaszun gets the first look at the chest and fortress here, they're gonna be in go mode first. Too little, too late, but they'll be in go mode first. Don't. Please don't. No, please no. No!
He's going in.
Why?
He's going in first.
No! Why?
From a density perspective, it makes sense, but
It's right there. I don't understand the density argument when it's right there. Like I just don't understand.
The way that, and I learned this from you too, Tudos. The way that you always just go about doing your check there at the top, the way that you do it right after getting the key by taking that back door, makes sense the way that we do it. But I guess, rushing density makes sense. Rushing density is always the know you of ZOoTR. Like
the know you.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's like.
Well, but Derpy's right. If you go into GD first, that's how you forget that top chest.
Yeah.
Not that I know from experience or anything.
Oh.
But we do see Sponge going lake and presumably water, so they've split those very nicely.
Yeah, this was an expected play here. Well, obviously, he can't get into water right now, but...
Wait. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have both scales.
Yeah, he doesn't have both
actually-
skills, no irons.
If I'm reading this right, then Namaha hasn't done fire yet. Not that it changes a whole lot. I still think that they full clear it, but
He's gonna clear it out.
yeah. Kind of interesting here. I guess I had missed that part of it too, that they still needed to do Fire Temple and beat Volvagia here. But yeah, I can't see a world in which they leave after doing this. Right? Am I reading that right? It looks like the tracker doesn't have tracker doesn't have.
Yeah, well, he...
Yeah, I think it was only Sponge who beat Volvagia on their side.
What was Volvagia key? I don't remember. Shoot the Sun is dead.
Wait, he left Val. Wait, Alaszun left.
Alaszun, what are you doing?
Please no. Why? If you jump down to go to Lake Hylia...
I mean, he's not going back up to that.
Oh no. I mean, okay, if you want to get these checks, okay, makes sense. You're just gonna get these checks and go back in, right?
Yeah,
Like-
now go back to Fortress and do the Fortress checks. Come on.
You don't want to do horseback archery, I get it, but you know, there's another one there.
Yeah, we all hate that one, but
A location.
It was not a location safe scum because he just left. No. Oh no.
He's going. Well, I'll see ya.
Oh no, he's gonna do the crate
He's doing
check.
the bomb
'cause-
shoot, yeah.
Yeah, because remember, only father-son bonding check this as a child.
Yep, nice setup. He gets it first try.
I could see him save scumming the waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope. He sees it.
What's the play? No, maybe he didn't see
And
it.
he's thinking, oh no!
He saw it.
Bye.
Oh man.
And we're going to the lake, boys.
I don't understand the play here, but I mean, this almost seems like desperation mode, maybe? I don't know. Like, I don't understand why you barely clear anything in GTG, right? And then you don't check Fortress, you don't check the horseback archery. It's like, I don't understand here, but...
I think the real kicker here is that the fortress check isn't a particularly lengthy check to do either.
No, not at all.
It's, you know, it'd be one thing if you had to go way out of your way or horseback archery that you didn't want to do, but...
Yeah,
But-
well, I mean, they think they're behind, and maybe he thinks Stonewater could be the thing.
Yeah, maybe at this point, he probably feels like if we want to win at this point, we gotta just go Stonewater. So that's probably the play here, but like, I just don't you can't miss a check that costs like maybe 30 seconds of your time.
And here we do see the child cleanup from Sponge. He does have a few sticks here, so hopefully we can knock out those checks real quick.
Can't wait to bully Namaha about some of his execution in the interview.
Yeah, so Rai, the Lucksackers skipped the top of Fortress there, which does have their Din's Fire.
That's their only item missing for Go mode.
But it looks like Namaha is going to be finding that mirror shield very shortly.
Oh, just about
Yeah,
there.
yes, I meant Rukarik, not Rai. Look, Gav. it's been a day of missing checks, missing names.
Oh, that reminds me of the dude named Raikou who comes to my stream sometimes, and that's even closer to Raikaru.
Yeah. Hey, stop it.
But like, I mean, realistically, even if they found Din's fire, like right away, like I'm pretty sure they don't win anyway. But like, it's just
Namaha
it's
just overtook Draken Fire.
But Drac does know you don't need to do the upper part of the maze. You can just go straight to the mirror shield.
Man, and now even Lake Lab. Dang. The real like unfortunate part of this is like it probably doesn't matter anyway, simply because of how much Drac still needs to do to catch up, but you'd love to see the last part of this still be a contest.
Uh-oh, Hell Knight is wanting to add to the Ocarina of Time iceberg. It's a conspiracy.
Bring them against their will. The Ocarina of Time iceberg has to be one of the biggest icebergs in all of gaming.
There's so many deep lore that you could make with this game. It's unbelievable.
Yep. I mean, well, half of it already, like, it's one of the most, I think, talked about of, like, what the developers intended, what's hidden here, what's hidden there. So much. So much. All right,
Well,
and there's Pierre.
Meanwhile, they're actually fighting Vivagi here. He has nowhere to go but up, considering his last boss fight, so we'll see what happens.
Namaha about to save Sponge here. 'Cause it looks like he's trying to get that other scale. But he's gonna be happy he doesn't have to dip stone water.
I think there's a chance Alaszun save scums if this boulder is nothing, then he would be able to go back to GTG. Yep, he's gonna do that. Okay. So the thing is here, he's not gonna do the outside fortress check though. He's still gonna full click the rest of GTG, which he will then proceed to find the long shot.
Everywhere except where you need to be. And again, there's still Shadow Temple separating them at this point. And that's not a small thing, but
so it's certain that Father Son Bonding will walk away with this one. Oh, yeah. And there's the long shot. It's gonna full clear GTG though.
yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, we can talk about, you know, him checking everything but this, but the fact of the matter is that Father-Son Bonding has more or less full cleared their seed. You know, there is really not a lot left for them to do, to the point now where they were even going back and they were even going back and trying to get a gold scale to see if they could out of logic dip into Water Temple, you know? Like, they were clearly well ahead in doing a lot of these things, and it just shows you what execution can do for you.
Yeah, their routing and execution has mostly been on point today.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'd like to talk about Alaszun's save scumming. Like, he really used save scumming very well. Obviously, he missed the fortress check, which had the thing he needs, but Winnie pointed out this was the second time he made a huge save scum move, which was pretty good use of it. I think that's a pretty good showing of it for them as far as that goes. So nice strategy right there.
Yeah, and it's good for any of you who are new to ZOoTR as well, learning, understanding the mechanics of how saving works in this game and where you can warp back to with save scumming and location scumming and things like that, because it's a very valid and valuable tool. And it doesn't require learning any tech for it either.
That is another thing I want to ask about the interview. Why neither team went to forest when both teams got the items needed to full clear forest pretty early on, especially
mainly the
Father's Son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can talk to them about that and ask Namaha what happened in Child Spirit and the return trip home.
Oh yeah, and then we can bully Sponge about dying of Volvagia.
Yeah, the bosses struck back in this scene.
King Dodongo is going to be getting his way sometime soon here.
He's due. He's due.
Is he? I thought Pi was out of this tournament.
Oh no.
Was Pi the sacrifice? Like, by laying down his arms against King Dodongo, Pi saved us from all future King Dodongo deaths?
It was a noble sacrifice, but a necessary one. Looks like we just got some cleanup from Namaha and Sponge, getting Mirror Shield and fighting their last boss fight here. So we can look forward to the top 8 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the matchups here, because I know like next week is the first top or round of 3 matchup unless someone schedules this week. But Gamers versus Washed. We got Riley. I actually talked to Riley about this matchup a little bit on my stream a couple days ago, and he's really excited to go up against ATZ and whatnot. So
was that what your interpretation of it? Was that what your interpretation of his comment was?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's excited. Absolutely. He can back me up. He's probably here still.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one, and it's actually going to be, unless something changes in one of our schedules, it's actually going to be the 3 of us commentating that one as well. So, always exciting to get to commentate some high-level matches, and even more when you're familiar with some of the players and some of the teams.
And we'll also take this moment, like, especially if you came from a raid, if you enjoy the content you're seeing with these ZOoTR races, go ahead and hit that hot follow button. Subscribe if you really like it. Do races several times a week here, so you will never miss any ZOoTR races as long as you follow.
Definitely want to stick around for the top 8. These matches are only going to get better. And, if you like some of these runners, check them out too. They all got their own streams. They all clearly very talented ZOoTR runners.
And the other thing that I've noticed this as well about ZOoTR and MMR runners, just randomizer runners in general, is they put in hours. Like, it's not a situation where once every 2 weeks you're gonna get to see them do it. I mean, there are races pretty much every day. There's ladder matches, asyncs. If you love seeing this type of content, this type of race, there's always going to be somebody for you to watch. And in my experience, they've all been quite friendly too. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And I'll say, when you get bit by the ZOoTR bug, it doesn't go away. You just constantly want to keep running it. Even if you get messed up by bad seed logic too many times, you just convince yourself that the next one will be better, and you come back.
Nothing can be. Oh, Drac died. again. Oh yeah, and also a shout out to the whole volunteer team. Like, it's not just us, the commentators in here. We have Hell Knight, who is the main restreamer for this, and then we actually have separate trackers for each of the runners as well. So like, there is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to make these possible.
Yeah, all of these trackers doing great work behind the scenes here to keep us up to date on all the hints and everything.
Yep, all
Just makes
volunteers.
it so much
Wow.
easier for the comms.
Yeah, and for you all at home with your viewing experience too. And it's all volunteer. ZOoTR is not yet esports. We're still working on that one. But
It's
again,
coming. We got the GDQ hype now. We're getting there.
that's all it takes. It's a little bit.
I mean, clearly by next week we're gonna see Liquid Riley
Liquid
coming
Riley.
up.
Is TSM giving you that call, Tudos?
No, they haven't called me since the incident for Fall Guys, so.
Liquid Riley. CPG ATZ. Come on. That works too well.
Alaszun is pretty close to finishing off GTG here, so at this point it's just like, will he actually find Din's Fire before the other team finishes?
Yeah, I think there's no way he pulls a meat and skips it.
Well, there aren't that many checks left for the. There aren't that many checks left. The question is, will they still be in toilet by the time this is all over?
Well, he can't even do toilet, right? No, he does have irons.
Yeah,
He
and
does.
he's got Song of Time as well. So
Yeah.
What else is wrapped up here? So Sponge is last temple is Spirit, so he's finishing up there. Namaha is full done, so he just needs to beat Ganon.
Namaha takes a look at those iron boots and says,
nope.
See you later.
"Not today, boys."
Not feeling like stone water this time. Why not? Hey, you never know. You never know when you're gonna need that Ocarina of Time song. You know, gotta warp around. You never know. Maybe that bolero will be needed to beat Ganon or something. It's just the one song that Ganon doesn't like for whatever reason.
I definitely want to talk to the runners about just the lack of warps in this seed and the challenges they faced from that.
Yeah, the lack of warps was not fun this seed. Their only useful one was Nocturne, and of course that's a required one. Then you got Spirit Temple, which is only really used to go to Spirit Temple or do Reversed Wasteland, and then you had a Forest, which is only used really.
Cool. Is he
Alaszun?
good? He didn't make it.
No way! The death animation takes Link's head above the water. Oh no! No, dude.
It's okay. I have been in
Brackets,
that same
by the
spot.
way.
I've been in that same spot where you're like, uh-oh, I gotta go back up. We're not gonna make it.
That is like the 20th F in chat today. Every runner has had at least one clip that would have made America's Funniest Home Videos.
I feel like Alaszun just needs to keep that text up on the screen at this point.
And Drac gonna pick up the iron boots. Oh no, Drac might go to water.
Yeah, I mean, he probably does, since... Well, he might pick up the long shot out in GTG first, right? And then... Maybe they see the Dins.
Still battling through toilet.
Looks like Alaszun's got it this time. He's got plenty of time left.
Oh, see this? Okay. Right now, surface. Grab it. Come on, you can do it.
He's up. We're good. We made it this time.
What do we get for this?
Strength 4.
A heart piece.
Now, will he do the thing that we want him to do?
Or is he going to go to horseback archery first?
Track. Checking the Boulder of Destiny.
Oh, he's going horseback archery first. Oh, no. Yes, no. Where's he going? Okay. He's doing this way.
I'm going to turn on his audio here.
Time to turn on his audio.
Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Drax was gonna clean up Hyrule Field, but
Alright, so at the very least he'll be able to get these before Namaha finishes.
yep. Well, Ganondorf not being kind to Namaha here.
Good reaction.
Yep, not going to repeat what was said in that reaction, but just know that it was funny. Just know that it was, I think, a pretty reasonable reaction to it.
Yep, very reasonable. But at this point, finding that Din's Fire is too little too late.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at it now too, even if he had gotten that on the first try out, the distance to be covered is just too much. Shadow Temple's too long, and ultimately Drac just had a little bit too much. It was one of those unfortunate situations where Drac ended up leading a lot of temples that he couldn't finish. And I mean, even if the execution wasn't as sharp as what Sponge was pulling out, it did seem like, I mean, when you're that late into a seed and one of your runners only has one of the dungeons beaten, you know, there was a mix-up somewhere along the line, and you know, that's one of the reasons why co-op is so fascinating. It's not just one person routing anymore. You have to account for how both of you are gonna end up together at the end.
And now I was about to get the finish here, which will likely cause the other team to forfeit. Well, it won't cause a forfeit, but...
Yeah, but Sponge is going to be pretty close behind here.
Yeah, they're both going to be sub 3. Sub 3 with a handful of miscellaneous checks left and no trip into Water Temple. So, fantastic coverage all the way through.
Alaszun just said that I'm pretty sure they're going to finish sometime soon.
Yeah, it's the point of the seed where, I think we've all been there. You just happen to skip a check for a little too long. You finally get it, and you're like, man, somebody else is about to finish.
And time with 2:50 and 7 seconds. Congratulations to our first finisher here, Namaha. You know, outside of Styx, a fantastic run.
Yeah, I think it would have been, like, if this was... Obviously, if Alaszun was playing by himself, he'd be pretty close to the times on Father Son, but, like, with Drac this far behind, there was just... I don't think there was any way this was going to be made up.
No, and the real, I think, moment where it started to flip back the other way is, of course, there's all the time that gets made up by the sharp execution too, but finding strength inside of Ice Cavern really brought it back for father-son bonding, because again, we don't know when they would have opted to go back to the desert to make that check. You know, if Namaha would have gone back eventually to finish up Child Spirit, which I think is a fairly reasonable assumption at some point. But finding it at the time they did made that a very, very natural routing and allowed them to just continue to chug forward without getting caught at any point.
And then, again, like we already said this before, but since we're just waiting for Gan to finish here, the next stream is actually going to be next Sunday, unless one of the other round threes gets scheduled this week. We're looking at IAI Gamers, which is Goomba and Riley versus Wash, which is the Anatomy Z, and I can never say that name, JUWK, next Sunday, 1 p.m. EDT, same time, same day. We'll see you there.
Yep, and along that, we will see father-son bonding get to move on against Tompe Digging Rush. We'll have another good top 8 matchup.
And then the other two matches, Mary Poppins versus Le Club du Dessert, that I totally butchered because it's French. And then King's Royal Go Burr versus Lon Lon Delivery Service was the final match.
So many great names.
So many great names. Half of them are from Raikaru and Barrel, as they have changed names. How many times this tournament?
Oh yeah, they changed their name. That's right.
They're Captain Tunis fights now, I think.
Oh god. Oh yeah, and only the best names are in this tournament, like F Forest Temple, which I'm not going to say. The full spelling for that one.
Andrew glad I did chickens. That's a good one.
Five Psychomorpha, I feel that deeply.
Twin Brova.
River Baron.
K Kylia. That's a good one.
Yeah, at this point, Raikaru's just change his name every match, you know. Just make things confusing.
And there we have it, the final hit. That is a GG, boys.
EG, congratulations. Father-son bonding. They're moving on. They're listed as the #1 seed. I don't know if they actually are or not, or if seeds are actually a thing, but they're moving on. Digging Rush for round 3.
An average time of 2:52.26, I believe. Between the two of them there, I know it's not that average time doesn't really matter here, but still, I believe a couple people noted in the chat that was not quite a full clear, but basically a full clear. Just Water Temple left and no reason.
I think that's going to be a great team name. Not quite a full clear, but basically a full clear.
Basically full cleared. That's true, though. I feel like the range of being able to say I full cleared my game is like between like 6 or 7 checks left. Like if you get within 6 or 7 checks, then you're still free to say I full cleared my game.
Yep, it's true. All right, so hopefully we get these two in here for the interview shortly. Ready to go, Namaha.
There we go.
There we are. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, we've been pulled in. Hi.
We have been summoned.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on the win. A couple questions that we had here as we were going through this. There was some fun stuff, but I guess the first question that was on all of our minds is the rationale of waiting as long as you did to go do Forest Temple. What was the thinking behind that?
What did we do before? Oh, it was the Deku in DC that we did before going
Yeah,
Forest
which were
Temple? Yeah.
which were stones.
The thinking was basically
yeah.
they might be stones, but they almost always will have an item. And today they did not. But even if they didn't, we figured that Alaszun and Dracarys would probably check them too, so it would end up being a wash.
Right.
Also, both of us were missing an item for Forest Temple, and both of us needed to do an age change 100% in order to go to Forest. I needed the strength from DMT Fairy, and I'm not getting it as child, that's for sure. And
Yeah,
Namaha
and I needed the
bow
bow.
from the well, so essentially Namaha should just do DC while he's an adult. I should do Deku while I'm a child.
And then we'd move on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about on stream kind of the difficulty you guys must have had because you just didn't have a lot of warp songs.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely threw a wrench into things. Like no Bolero because I was on OOT, and then both Serenade and Prelude were locked by our Go mode mirror shield.
Yeah, it was a lot of going back to Kakariko for both teams there.
Yeah.
All right,
The other question that I had one other question that I thought was, or I guess more of a comment rather. So finding the silvers that you did inside of Ice Cavern, of course, you ended up finding out where the other ones were later on. But how, like, we were watching along, and to kind of, I guess, spoil things for you guys, they found their silvers first. But being able to find them kind of gave you guys an opportunity to catch up. So, I mean, what was
they
it?
found the ones in the Colossus?
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
It was kind of a back and forth. You guys had the Death Mountain Trail one before them, but then they actually got to Silvers before you.
Okay.
It was a fun back and forth watching it, being like, uh-oh, who's in the lead here?
Yeah,
I
and
said
then
we ended up
the
finding
entire
all
time
three in the end. Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like we were gonna lose, to be honest. I knew we had like an execution edge, but Alaszun and Drac aren't like terrible
no
players.
slouches, yeah.
They're pretty good, to be honest. If I do say so myself. So I'm like, we kind of deserve to lose this, but apparently they're in shadow right now. So
They're indeed in shadow.
So I guess they just put off Fortress for forever, or
That was
Yeah.
part of
What made
it.
them- it was Din's their Go mode or Mirror?
Dins was their go.
Okay.
One of the big issues that they ran into was Drac ended up leading a lot of the temples that he couldn't finish. And so it created this situation where I think at about 2 hours in, or maybe even 2.5 hours in, all they needed was Dins, but Drac had only finished Jabu. So it was kind of rough there. They found their mirror shield way ahead of time. And we were kind of doing some calculations. Even if Alaszun had found Dins as quick as possible, and Alaszun did just about every other check before finding Dins, even with that, it was going to take Drac a little bit too long to catch up.
Yeah,
And then kind of going off the issues with the strength, like going back and forth there. There was that point, Nama, where you died, or no, you didn't die. You lost your final stick on Spirit Child.
Yeah,
and
that
at
was
that
the
point,
most nerve-wracking thing.
yeah, like we were like wondering, would you have checked the Spirit Temple Fairy Fountain?
That
if
was
you
actually
didn't
the
break your
plan.
stick?
Sponge and I were actually talking about it. Yeah, I'd just do Child Spirit and then do the
Yeah, but
Fairy
then-
after that.
And then we
But
saw
then
you
it
kind of
broke.
like panic bail after that point, and
Yep.
then you fell into the river.
Big sad.
That was a big sad moment, but there was
But
definitely
it ended
a
up
lot
not
of other big-
mattering. Yeah,
It didn't
ended up being
matter,
fine.
and there was other big sad moments from the other racers too. So wasn't
Oh.
that big of a deal at the end.
we're out
Yeah.
here clowning around the whole time.
We did have a moment of worry for you guys when Namaha bailed, and we were like, are they not going to find those silvers for a while? Because, you know, it's one fairy fountain out there, and you have other things like GTG you could have went to or something.
Honestly, we wouldn't have found them for a while if Silvers hadn't turned up in Ice Cavern.
Right.
That's
We
kind of
didn't
what we
have
were
a lot of
wondering.
incentive to go back there.
Yeah.
You have a
So we
love-hate
weren't totally
relationship
off the
with that
mark.
ferry.
If we ended up reversing to GTG, we probably would have easily picked it up there. But I feel like the first trip we made to GTG, we did through the field just because there was more checks on the way and Wasteland was already hinted. So it made sense to just go through the field, clear all of Hyrule Field and the Gerudo Valley checks.
Yeah, definitely.
And Toxic,
then-
I just saw what you said. Yeah, I'm so disappointed. That was the worst part about breaking the stick, was because I've actually been practicing that new strat for Child Climb with the bomb shoes.
And then something you guys didn't have to worry about while the other team did, since their go mode item was Din's Fire, they actually beat Spirit Temple with the Mirror Shield, of course, and they got irons on the heart check. So
Yeah,
at
we
that
talked
point,
about that.
they were like, we could see them like trying to think if they wanted to do stone water at that point, because at that point, like if you're still missing an item, water temple's decent now that you have skulls in play too. So yeah, that's something you guys have to deal with at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking
thought
about water
it.
actually. Like while I was in fire, pretty much our only other play for Sponge was to go get that other scale from the stone dungeon
With
he
the
hadn't done.
child DC for a
Yeah.
scale. And then I just hear my partner start screaming, "It's fire! It's fire!" And I'm like, "Where do I go?"
Yeah, we're
Party.
watching that like, oh, he's gonna get bailed out of this child DC horrible play for the scale. It's like, get the mirror shield here. It's here.
We're done. We're done.
You guys got to see some DLC today.
Yeah. Bit of child DC. Fun stuff.
I mean, it's not a bad play when you just need to go grab that scale, but
All right, that was all we had left, honestly. That
It's
was the
fire and lab dive.
and
That's
lab
it.
dive plus
yeah.
water temple from the gold scale that we would get.
So I guess the next question is, or I guess thought, congratulations on making top 8. Do you have any thoughts about your matchup with Dompe Digging Rush?
You guys want to play next Sunday?
But yeah, I'm down to schedule
I
next
saw-
Sunday if you guys.
I saw
see
Kirox in
there.
chat.
I
Want to
think
play
we
next
have a
Sunday,
match-
same time?
I think we have a match scheduled for that time slot. Don't
Yeah,
we? Riley's team may have already.
Yeah,
Oh, looks
IA
Sunday.
and Wasp are playing each other same time next week, same
Oh,
day.
that's a minor league match. Come on.
Zeph isn't available anyway, sadly. Okay.
Okay.
Just have an extra match between you and Riley's team, and
Just
in the
round-
group
no,
line,
just round
see who
robin
gets
it.
the time.
Have a show match.
Show
Accidentally.
No,
match
no,
to
I
see who
got-
gets
I
to
got
play
this.
Sunday.
I got this. We just put 8 streams on the stream next week, all at the
Yeah.
same time.
All the same seeds,
Let's-
just
yeah,
8
like all
different
8
streams.
Top 2 teams advance.
Oh God, we signed up for commentary for that one next week. So Nine, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to like go back and forth to not try to explain what exactly is going on to the very confused viewers.
That's going to be an absolute, like, halfway through that, I'm going to start getting names mixed up. And we're going to see team combinations that are very much not real, but
Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, Alaszun looks like they are heading towards Ganon right now. So it looks like they will be finishing up shortly here with looks like a 3:10 range time. So not too bad. It was just luck of the draw with Din's Fire. So
yeah,
what
it's
it
nice to
is.
see them going and finishing too. And do we have any other questions for Namaha and Sponge? I'd hate to hold them around any longer than they want to be.
I'm going to stick around until Alaszun and Dracarys get here. Alaszun
Same,
seems like
yep.
he has a lot to say.
Yeah, I've been
You
listening
should
in
ask-
on his stream. So
You should ask him what he said when he found Dins.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
So, did it just, they never went to Fortress, or did he just not open that chest?
Well,
Okay.
he went into GTG first,
I was
Okay.
gonna say it. They
did
had the
some
launch.
of that, and then went out to Valley and the lake.
And they
came
never
back.
did the Hyrule field checks either. So they did the Hyrule field checks. Then they came back because they did a save scum, finished GTG, died in the toilet, and then actually finished TTG. Then they checked the fortress chest.
How early did they have that mirror shield? I guess their first trip into fire, they full cleared it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Allison full
Okay.
cleared it on the first trip through. Well, that was going on while Drac was finishing Forest Temple. Drac did not have the best of times against Phantom Ganon.
So actually, Namaha, if we do the math on this, like take like 10, 11 minutes away for doing GTG, a couple of more minutes for Valley Lake. That's like probably 15 minutes. If they do Fortress first, you probably start with HBA, so that's like a minute, 2 minutes, maybe.
A much closer match, yeah.
13 minutes? No, they win.
Well, no. So the other thing is, Drac still had 3 dungeons to do at that point, and they both had Shadow. So
yeah, so
no,
like,
we still win. We still win. Yeah.
Yeah, even
I
though
think you
Alaszun,
win, but it's very close.
Alaszun gets it first, but like the fact that
Yeah,
he like
Drac has
just
to catch
caught
up.
up to Alaszun because of it, because
Yeah.
of that thing. So
Alaszun
no way.
finishes first for sure. Well, no, actually, 250.
it would have.
Namaha
We were
might have
wondering
finished
this.
first, but it's
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
wondering the same thing if Allison would finish first, but it ultimately was also going to come down to the fact that they didn't have Shadow mapped out, so Allison was going to have to check everything inside of Shadow Temple too. But it would have been much closer, and like you guys said, if another strength hadn't been an ice cavern, there's no telling how things could have gone.
Yeah. Yeah, if Strength 3 was just in Adult Spirit, we could have been completely screwed there.
Oh, pro Wasteland hint, by the way. Having a shield from my boy over here.
Oh, yeah.
Who lost
We
his.
talked about that.
We're like, oh, he needs a shield.
Yeah, we're like, did he know that was a shield, or did they?
Yeah, it did. I knew.
Yeah, you guys did get some nice hints early on, knowing things
yeah.
like that was dead, Skull Mask dead, Frogs 2, Big Oron.
I was so happy to see that Skull Mask hint.
And then we both turn in the letter anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone turns in the letter after seeing the hint anyway.
Uh-oh, Drac. Uh-oh. Shit.
Greg had some not fun times on several of these bosses, so I don't think I'm not sure if he'll want to talk about that. Oh, and Shadow Trial was a very interesting time for him too. So if you want to give him some crap about it, then ask him about Shadow Trial.
Well, okay. Shadow Trial had its wits with both teams this time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shadow Trial fought
Great
hard.
time there.
There was a point in the stream where it looked like all Forerunners were falling to their deaths at different parts of the world.
I wrote it down. So Sponge died of Volvagia. Drake
Yeah.
died multiple times in Shadow Trial. Namaha lost Shield, all in like the span of like 15 seconds.
Just clowning around on this restream.
I got Trollhold. Come on.
It's no excuse, Sponge.
Namaha's like, we're even. I'm like, what are you
Trollhold
talking
put that
about? You got killed by a like.
Oh my
Hey, I didn't
God.
die.
All right, you got owned.
died
That
inside. Yeah,
that like owned your soul. All right.
I did die on the inside pretty hard. You're right. But then that soul was restored with that beautiful wasteland hint.
He's talking about it. He's like, I'm gonna get this shield in Wasteland. I'm like, remember 2 hours ago when I said, we should probably remember that just in case it ends up coming into play later.
I almost didn't even mention that it was a shield to you. I just said it was dead. I was like, all right, I'll mention it just in case somehow.
Normally you're like, he's not going out there for a shield.
Dude, like, there's no way that shield out there is ever going to be useful. Lo and behold, my dumbass got ate by a like and spat into the void immediately.
All right, 310 from Alaszun. And it looks like probably a 311 from Drake here, so we'll see what happens.
Very nice.
Hopefully they stop in here. We can chat a bit about it.
Also, Kirox, yes, I'm down. Gentlemen's agreement. No skull mask, no chickens, okay? For our match.
all right.
Not allowed until it's the last 2 locations available.
Oh,
What are you
speaking
doing,
of
man?
chickens. Speaking of chickens, both teams checked chickens very early. I was very happy with both teams.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we knew they were gonna check chickens.
we're not gonna
like,
get chickens
so...
into second place. 0% chance of that.
So that was a meta decision. You're like, they're gonna do it early. We gotta meta.
Oh, man, where'd this cough come from?
Yeah, crazy.
There we have it. The last finish.
And anyway, here is your final top 8 team. Father-son bonding versus Dampé Digging Rush at who knows when, because a
We'll see.
certain
We'll
other
change really
two
quick.
teams took their race time. Jeez. The question is, are they going to come in here, or are they just going to be like, we don't want to talk about it, and we're going to leave?
8.5 minutes. That's it. Wow.
Too bad.
Those.
For a basically full clear type of seed.
It was more than that. You guys had what, 252 average?
I'm just going by what Star said. What was our average?
I want to say you guys were like
Sub
252.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it must
We
have
were
been like a
252.
252, so it was like,
And they're like a 310, 311.
so that's almost 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I guess that's it then. I don't think they're going to be coming in here, so.
I don't know unless someone pulls them up.
No, they're coming in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't too sure.
Well, at least Alaszun is. Track hasn't confirmed in the race time chat yet.
Math fail. It's all right, Star. You did enough with all this crazy tracking.
Star didn't make a bad scene today. Hooray!
Hey, GG's.
GG's.
GG.
Scene wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was. I was bad. I died to Phantom Ganon twice with Corn, so I have no idea how that happened.
So when you died multiple times in Shadow Trial, the other team was also having a bad time at the same time. We had a Volvagia death and a lost shield at the same time from the other team to a like. So that was pretty fun.
I still think I win the Dingus Award for my bottom of the well quote reset. Oh, I saved after I got my bomb bag. Let's just go back and I'll get my. Oops.
Oh no! Did you? How much did you lose there?
Oops.
I lost my bomb bag. I lost my bow. I lost. I mean, I didn't lose that much. I basically lost bottom of the well and Composer Grave.
Hey,
But
you
I
got
felt
your Deku shield back.
I did get my Deku shield back, and that's what's important.
Worth.
All right, so
I had some brain deading in this scene.
I guess so. So kind of to share what we've been discussing with the other team this seed here. So one thing that was very interesting about this seed is that it was kind of a trade-off of like who found what strengths. So you guys, and by you guys, I mean Lucksackers, you guys found the spirit,
The Death Mountain Trail one.
The Death Mountain Trail one. You guys found that strength first, while the other team did not find that for a while.
No, they found that one
backwards.
first. We flipped it. They found that one first, but you guys on Lucksackers actually got the silvers before they did. Namaha.
Yeah, we missed the
Namaha had a
Colossus Fairy.
little.
I had a fun time in Child Spirit.
Yeah, he had a little accident in Child Spirit.
Yeah, a little whoopsie.
That,
Broke my last stick before I could do anything with it, and then bailed out. Which meant we didn't check the Colossus Fairy for a while, not until finding
I
the
didn't
other
have
string.
explosives when I did Kid Spirit, and so I did Kid Spirit literally like as soon as I hit Child, basically. And so since I figured, hey, I want Song of Storms anyway, and so I went through and just got those 3, and I'm like, oh, Goron Tunic, I guess I'll pick that up. But then it wasn't until I was sort of planning to do the GTG route that I picked up that strength and immediately just played Minuet and went to Forest instead.
Nice.
But
yeah, overall,
it
wasn't that bad of a seed, honestly.
No, I thought the seed was fine.
It was a good seed, and we thought it was a very good back and forth with these strengths and all. And honestly, Lucksackers, if that third strength wasn't in Ice Cavern, who knows who wins this?
Yeah, we
I
would
think
have abandoned that Colossus Fairy for a long time if not for that other strength being available.
I'll say I felt I assumed we were probably gonna lose. Like Drake and I haven't been able to practice much. I got a dog. He got a job. So I guess we both got jobs.
Yeah, we also got 9-hour time difference.
I was
so it's
saying we have
hard.
a 9-hour time difference, so our time was generally like relatively fixed anyway. And I mean, Namaha and Salty, I've played with them before, and they're super good. And so I was like, I knew we were behind. That was one of the reasons I climbed Fire Temple. Is it was I kind of thought of like, I think this normal thing to do here is to bail, and so
yeah,
I'm gonna
they
climb
bailed.
Yeah.
instead.
It's funny. Sponge and I were looking for like those gotcha type things all over the seed. That's why we did chickens early. We didn't want to get
I also did
defeated by that.
chickens early.
Yeah, yeah.
Why we did.
We figured you guys would, so we didn't want to get owned by like a good item being
I went.
available right there, and then just
I went.
last locationing it.
I dipped fire and then went to Ice Cavern and got the hammer. I'm like, God damn it! Like the only reason I dipped fire because I'm like, you know what? This is something that they might do.
That
Like,
right.
Hey,
We
like
figured
maybe there's a key on the
yeah.
first check,
We
and
we
We
dipped
thought about the
fire
wrong
pretty
gotcha.
late actually.
Yeah, I also checked fire on the way to Ice Cavern.
I
Yeah,
went to grab
we didn't
Song
dip
of
it until
Time.
after Forest and Jabu and Deku DC were all cleared. Like I think that was when we finally
I was
had Sponge dip fire.
I didn't have I literally had those 5 chews from Ganon's castle, and that was it for a pretty long time. And I
Oh, okay.
literally just burned them through going to grab my Song of Time and like clearing out Lost Woods and stuff since Drac
Gotcha.
had just gotten his bomb bag, and so I'm like, okay, well I know where a bomb bag is, like no worries.
Yeah. One of the first
and
things I did with those chews was get a wallet with the Sacred Forest Meadow Scrubs, so I
I
had a
got
bomb
that
bag
wallet,
from that.
and I'm like, oh, okay, well that was I think chew number 2. But Drac had already gone to bottom of the well and found the bomb bag.
Oh, okay.
I
Nice.
almost followed Drac right to bottom of the well. I'm like, you know what? Like, Minuet might be ZL here.
Oh, so Drac went in there without explosives at all then, right?
He had
Into
chews.
the bottom of the well? Oh, he did have the
he
chews.
went-
Okay, okay.
He had a
no
few chews.
ZL either.
No ZL.
no
No.
ZL. Yeah,
I thought
noticed
about doing it, but that Namaha found the wallet before that.
We were
So.
less afraid of that play because I knew I could just follow into bottom of the well, which is
clear
why
out the
I
rest,
was
yeah.
more hesitant on actually going without the bombs. And then I found ZL. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just use all these bomb chews and then I'll go to bottom of the well. And then some sadness happened. And all of a sudden I was an adult again. But yeah, I felt really good. Like the one time I felt really good was when Drac and I found hovers and mirror shield at like 10 seconds apart from each other. And I'm like, this
Nice.
mirror shield's kind of in a shitty spot.
Yeah, that was a bad spot.
I was
Anywhere in
about to
Fire Temple
climb,
past the boss
and
game is a
then
shitty spot.
somebody talked me out of it.
all right, Mr. Talking me out of doing Fortress when I was right outside there. All right.
Okay, all right. If you want to talk about some Fortress tragedy, so I was like, you know what? We're now 1 item from Go mode. I'm literally just going to rush the fastest chests I can. And so I ran into GTG, did right side, because I wanted a save point there so I could pop back. And then just sort of like ran down Gerudo Valley, Adult Lake Hylia, Southern Grottos, popped back, and I'm like, well, I may as well do GTG. Like, it's just that outside chest and horseback archery at this point. Like, this is a much better concentration.
Yeah,
Right play, for sure.
We pointed out it was some great saves coming by you to do that, but it just didn't pay out.
Say it felt so bad. I don't know if you had my audio on. I know you wouldn't have on the restream, but I dropped a couple of F-bombs.
We turned it on because we knew at that point that
I saw the days and I was like, fuck this. I mean, I like at that point I was pretty sure we were going to lose. Like if we had managed to like dodge Water Temple and dodge GTG, I thought we had a chance of coming in. Yeah, no. I mean, I was pretty sure we were going to lose at that point, and so when Salty finished, when I was just like early into Shadow Temple or Namaha finished, I'm like, yep, there we go. But we figured our on-brand practice has been to get to Go mode and just forfeit, because every fucking time our end game is just, okay, go do Shadow Temple and then go do GC. And we really just like hate that fucking stretch. But we figured since it was our last race in the tournament, we may as well finish. And we were already halfway through Shadow, as it was when Salty put the nail in the coffin for sure.
Yeah,
Even
well,
though literally short of Salty having like a heart attack, there was no way we were going to make it.
always good to finish out, and still, congrats on the top 16. That's nothing to be ashamed of. You
Yeah,
lost to a great team here.
That's a lot better than. That's about maybe one better than we were hoping, I would say. I think we came in and we said, hey, let's look at this. Like, we got a relatively tough pool. If we make brackets, we're going to be happy. And then managed to win our first round of brackets. And then, I mean, I didn't have a lot of expectations for this seed anyway, which is why I was having some fun with my stream during the race.
We saw the memes
Brackets,
flash
BT
up on
dubs.
you.
Brackets, BT dubs. Like every time one of us did something like absolutely atrocious, I got cut by the guards in Hyrule Castle, which is what inspired me to do that. I just like turned and walked right at them for some reason, and I'm just like, what the fuck did I just
You know,
do?
I remember that now. I was like, wait a minute, did he get caught? But I think I was focused on something else.
It was one of the like 3 times in the seed that I like literally felt my hand make a move, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? Stop that! And it was just like a second too late. The same thing with my wasteland voiding. I'm like, no, you're 1 stripe too early to go up, and we're voided. But yeah, I don't feel too bad. I mean, this race wasn't our best showing, but I'm not surprised given the general rust levels that we have. And I think we at least played intelligently, and also Drac got to show off the fact that there's that fucking fairy spot in Shadow Temple.
I would have
Which I
died
suspect
otherwise.
maybe 3 people watching knew about. But yeah, I'm all right with that, and I'm super happy with our performance overall.
Right,
And
right.
and I like Namaha and Salty, so losing them doesn't suck. I mean, it would have been fun to knock them out because I would have been like a relentless shit talker about it.
Oh, I'm so happy. So happy.
There was no world where we deserved to beat them, so I was just like ready to lay down so much shit talk if we had to.
We knew what was on the line if we lost here.
Yeah.
There's always next tournament for you guys to maybe get the revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
2.0.
we had a chat
Oh, yeah.
poll that we are going to turn double damage on next tournament. So
Did
good
that
luck.
actually win?
I don't know. I was paying attention, but I
don't know if it actually won or not.
I was vouching for
double
I was
damage,
vouching
wow.
for quad damage. So
Quad's
clearly
a
the
little
way to
much.
go.
Double damage, I can see that.
Actually, what you
honestly
guys
being
need
funny.
to do is you need to find a way to link the health pools and then make it OCO.
Oh god.
Just like, all right, guys, I'm about to kill Volvagia, and my partner walked into a Skulltula, and we're dead. This is inspired by, there's a similar sort of thing in Link to the Past where there actually is like inventory and health sharing. And I was fighting one of the nastier bosses in the game at really low equipment and was about to kill him, and my partner just walked into something in the overworld and killed me.
You know,
And
if I would like to see Ocarina of Time come far enough where wait, I think we can do that with Ocarina of Time right now online, can't we? Is that a thing?
It might be able to do it, but that's still a ways away from being race legal.
We have multi-world support, so like it's not significantly different from how that works. I do think an inventory co-op would actually be a pretty cool mode if someone could manage it. It would also help streamline these seats a little bit, so that like, hey, like if you open a chest, it's open for both players, and you don't both have to do Shadow Temple, both have to do Forest Temple. Although it would kind of suck at the end when one person's doing Shadow Temple, and the other person is just kind of chilling at Ganon waiting.
Yeah, you'd have to turn some sanities on though, because you don't want to streamline the seats. But you can legit just like turn on everything.
Yeah.
Or
you can
almost
literally
everything,
just like turn on, maybe not entrance, just because it's, or at least I don't know. I feel overworld entrance in Ocarina of Time is pretty unfun.
It can be rough. The most I would say what you do is the dungeon entrance rando can be kind of fun at times, but
dungeon Entrance Range is okay.
Me and Angle have actually experimented with co-op online all sanity, where everyone gets the items when you get them. And like, if you're a team of, we did with teams of 3, and you can beat it in like less than 2 hours. So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always a big advocate for sort of interesting and different tournament formats. Like that's where the multi-world tournament in the first place even came from. Was I was like, hey, like this would be a fun, different way to actually compete. And I mean, obviously, there's the like main tournament every year, which is just going to be a one-on-one tournament, and it should be. But I think it's really cool to sort of showcase alternate ways that you can play the game, and also like different ways that you can think about the game. Like, I was really happy that I set up that safe scum in Ice Cavern when Drac got his gold gauntlets, because I was just ready to snap back there if we discovered that I actually needed the gold gauntlets, so I didn't have to walk back to stupid fucking Ice Cavern again. But
yeah, that was a really good play by you there for sure.
It was like, okay, I did a really dumb thing with save scums. I need to make up for it in the rest of this season. But yeah, GG's. Good luck, Salty and Namaha. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I think your opponent might rush Dompe digging.
That's okay. We'll rush Darunia.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't worry.
I can't wait to see that match. And once again, we have the next match for the tournament is next Sunday, same time, 1 p.m. EDT. Alpha Gamers versus Washed. It'll be a great time. We're going to have a blast, blah, 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 blah. Follow, like, subscribe to the stream, etc. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks to the racers and everyone who helped out today.
GG.
GG. Thank you.
GG's.
GG's.
Thanks all involved. See you next time.
Yep.
Pulling up the, well, we could just re-raid Zelda speedruns, give the viewers back to them because they're doing MMR.
Let's go, Rahylia.
Hello, GG's.
GG Star.
That was fun. 14 spheres. It just turned out that you guys nearly 100% of the seed anyway.
Well,
Classic
actually,
co-op.
Zelda speedruns just finished because theirs only took 2.5 hours. So looks like we got to find someone else.
Oh yeah, give me a sec. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid. Yeah, ZSR just finished. That's not useful.
Pick a rando streamer.
Sadly, no one's currently. I don't know if anyone's streaming rando.
Or alternatively, randomly pick a randomizer streamer.
I think there was one time where we just picked the OTR streamer with the least number of viewers to raid. The Chiniski Veraxis is doing shuffled settings ladder. Well, no real
Oh,
preference.
I was muted. Yes. Yeah, sure, then
Actually,
pick someone.
I genuinely don't have any preference on who to raid.
Pick someone, Star.
Looks like Holy Sparks is playing. Playing a
Yes,
Scrubs
he is.
race.
Yeah, Sparks is an option. Yeah.
Post his name in chat, please. I'm waiting the white one.
And yeah, they could still hear us during that, by the way. Hi.